That underscore boy underscore Jake just bloomed. 3 years of bribing to talk to me. How time flies.
Oh my god, I was muted this entire time. Oh my god, I was muted the entire time. I've been talking for like a whole minute, and I was muted the entire time. I am alive. I just thought everyone wasn't paying attention. I thought everyone was ignoring me. I thought everyone was lurking, talking to ghosts. I thought everyone just like, no, we're going on strike. We're not talking to you tonight. No, I was like, I have a hard candy in my mouth because I was getting ready for stream, and like, you know when you like choke on your spit in like a really severe way? And so that happened to me. And then I was like, oh no, I am coughing slightly, so I must do something, otherwise everyone's gonna think I'm dying of disease. So now I have hard candy in my mouth. Eggplant union, yeah, they're unionizing, they're going on strike. They have like, we have to go back to the negotiating table. Eggly. Nice EGGY. Oh, hold on. Does my audio sound weird? I just realized... Okay, hold on. That should be better. That should be... Oh, maybe a little... I messed with the input gain the other day because I was recording. So... Exactly. Music. I hope that did not make you go deaf. Oh, it did the opposite. It did the opposite of making you go deaf. Okay. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Hello, eggplants. I don't remember this head pat being here when I loaded in my model. Hold on. What is wrong with my face? Something is wrong with my face. What is wrong with my face? I thought I fixed this earlier. Huh? Oh. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's better. But yes, good evening to Azure Shot. And good evening to Jake. Thank you for blooming for another month. 3 years of bribing to talk to me. How time flies. I would talk to you for free. Hello, Panis, good evening. Good evening, Fake Crade. And good evening, The Counter Teamer. And good evening, Shinix. And good evening, Zully. And good evening, Not John Stamos. And good evening, Allpill. And good evening, Lavirin. And good evening, Dream Motion. And good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Okay. Alright. What do we want tonight? Cozy mode. Glasses. The usual. She's infested with salmonella. No! Yeah, you gotta wash your hands after interacting with the Eggy. Gotta wash your hands. But yeah, no, there was a lot going on last week. I am back this week, and things should be somewhat normal. But there was simply too many things happening. Both good things and bad things. So good things wise, things were a bit scrambled. They really were. They really were. I did spend the most of the week going, ah. Oh yes, that's such a weird thing to say to someone. Yeah, they're cool, just wash your hands after interacting with them. Well, see, if someone shook my hand and then immediately went to wash their hands, I wouldn't be offended, because like you're supposed to wash your hands after handling eggs, you know? Do people ask their friends if they wash their hands after they see them talking to you? Hand sanitizer on the belt. No, actually, if we're in a hot enough room, if we're in a hot enough room, then it's probably fine. But yeah, no, last week, spent the entire week going, ah. So, good thing that happened last week. Zia and Elliot came to visit. So, I got to see my good friend, Zia _ Xenos. Hold on. Zia _ Xenos. And most of what we did was eat. We ate, and then we also did karaoke, and then we went to a bubble tea place, and we played Jenga because I had a Jenga set there, and we managed. Apparently, Elliot was saying, he's like, this is like the longest game of Jenga we've ever played. Apparently, they usually don't. The tower usually does not get that high, but we did it somehow. We did it somehow. It takes 75 degrees Celsius to kill salmonella germs. Must be a really hot room. I don't know. I feel like I've been in saunas that are like that temperature. Ma Jenga. I don't know. Could you do Jenga with Mahjong tiles? I don't know if they're long enough. I feel like they're probably not like long enough. Probably. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could you could make like Ma Jenga if you just like take Jenga tiles, right? Take Jenga tiles, paint them all white, and then like put little dots on them so that they look like Ricci sticks. I'm sure someone's probably made that. Somebody out there probably has made that. Is that just Mahjong Solitaire? No, but isn't Mahjong Solitaire technically like a memory game? It's like the ones that I would have when I was a kid, where they'd have like 2 of every card, and you had to like flip 2 over at a time and try to see like how long it takes you to like get all the matches. It definitely collapsed after the first tile unless you elongate it. I don't know. What if we stack them like 9 by 9 or something? Would that work? I don't know if that would work. It's like chess boxing, a round of Jenga and a round of Mahjong. Whoever wins a game first wins. My tiles! My tiles! Ugh. Sorry, I'm trying to make myself comfortable in this chair, which is a fool's errand. But, so that was the good thing that happened last week, was seeing friends, socializing. Bad thing that happened last week, that will be affecting me over the next few weeks. So my grandma broke her leg. She broke her femur, which is like the bone in like the thigh, like the top half of the leg. So she is, well, maybe fine is not the word for it, but it's like, she is alive. She is doing about as well as one can in that situation. But mainly like they had to operate on it. So she will probably still be in the hospital until, I think they said like a few weeks to a month, likely. So I'm kind of by myself here for the next few weeks. So, I mean, nothing much has changed. The only thing is that, I have to do like slightly more chores, pretty much. I'm the egg in charge for now. Yeah, I'm the egg in charge. Because, yeah, the only thing that changes in terms of, for me, is there are just, like, additional things I have to think about. So, like, things that we were not thinking about before, because, like, the other day I was like, why are there no dishes? And I was like, oh, right, I'm the one who has to start the dishwasher. Remember trash day. Luckily, my aunt has been coming by and doing that, which is good, because she keeps coming by when I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I don't have to... So, gladly, there are other people thinking about that, but I should be the one who can think. If it's Snome's shovel, well, I was already doing that. She certainly wasn't. But yes, wishing her the best. Thank you. Again, she's doing... Again, as well as one can in this situation. She is... I think they're moving her to... They're moving her... I was told last week that they're going to move her to, like a rehab center at some point soon. Again, a lot of these things, they're like, okay, we're planning to do this, and then we're not really given a time frame because they don't have a time frame, which is fair. But... Curse of forgetting to start the dishwasher. Well, because usually my grandma is the one who does that. Like, it's not like my grandma does, like, a ton of chores. It's just, like, the few things that she was doing that I just, like, never really thought about was like, oh, right, the dishwasher. Oh, right, what else what was the other thing that I was like, oh, right. Oh, also I have to keep stacking up, the mail because it keeps getting sent here. I think my aunt has been coming to pick it up every once in a while, but yeah. We're not getting the newspaper anymore. I was talking to my grandma about it. She was like, oh yeah, did you receive the paper last Saturday? I'm like, oh no, I don't think I did. Or if I did, then like my aunt came by and picked it up before I saw it. And she's like, yeah, I canceled my subscription. And I was like, oh yeah, are you getting the papers like here at the hospital? And she was just like, no. And I'm like, oh, like, do they not have them here? And she's like, no, I'm just not interested in the news. I'm like, okay, fair. So hopefully nothing too important happens between, like, now and, like, next month. So yeah, because she will have no way of knowing about it. But I'm now starting a rumor that Grandma broke her leg because Eggy's too much of a pretty princess to shovel Snom, and Grandma had to get her 9-year-old self to do it. Okay, well, see, actually the other thing too is, like, when she fell. So... when she fell, because here's the thing. So as one of 2 people in my extended family who does not have an Apple device, I am the last to know about everything because they cannot, like, the family group chat is an iMessage. So, usually what has to keep happening is that they will say something in, like, the group chat, which my mom is in, and then my mom has to, like, go on Facebook and send me the message, like, so despite living in the house, like, I'm the last person to know everything happening. So, like, I remember, like, the first message I got, I was at work, and my mom was like, oh yeah, Grandma fell and she's at the hospital. And, like, for a while I had no other context. Because, like, my grandma is the kind of person that, like, she does not go for help unless either it's life and death or unless there's somebody else around to kind of, like, convince her to do it. So I did not know what the situation was. So I was like, for like a bit, and then I got more details, but I don't know. In that way, though, it was almost a relief to find out that her leg was broken and that it wasn't like she hit her head or something. Hello, Faye. Hello, Faye. If you wrap it in a tortilla, anything can be a taco. You know what? Sure. I'm not gonna... Were you arguing with people about that today? Was that your argument for today? No. Okay. I don't know. I was reading a manga and it had tacos and Mexican food. I remember, like, my dad, who, mind you, this is probably almost certainly there's going to be someone in the chat who will take offense to this, but this is my dad's, just his opinion, man. He'd always say when I was a kid, he's like, oh, all Mexican food is like just like the same thing in a different shape. Because he's like, oh yeah, like a burrito, that's just like the same thing as a taco, except it's fully wrapped. And like nachos, that's like the same thing as a taco. It's just like chopped up. You say the most terroristic opinions when it comes to food. This is my dad's opinion. It is quite literally not my opinion. I know. See, I being open-minded and knowledgeable, know that there are different ingredients, and some will go into tacos, but not burritos. Or, you know, they will. I know that there are other differences other than just the shape. Did he only have Taco Bell? I mean, he's had other Mexican food before. Yes, he has, because I have gone to a Mexican restaurant with him. Yeah, all Mexican food that he's familiar with is just the same in his eyes, basically. Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like you can say the same about just about, like, any cuisine. Like, there's someone's out there who's like, oh, all Japanese cuisine is the same. It's all just protein on rice. Like, so someone out there is thinking that. But again, this is not Eggy opinion. This is opinions are not reflective of NiceEggy Incorporated. Don't run about your terroristic opinions about stews. Like what? Curry is a stew. Is that an argument? All Japanese food is the same. It's just ramen in different forms. Sushi? Raw ramen. It's all nutrition slop. Curry is a stew. Yes, that's correct. Yes, thank you, Boniface. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that stews don't have rice? Well, they don't. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I've never had a stew with rice in it. I've had, I guess if you count curry, I've had stew on rice, but I don't think I've had a stew with rice in it. Stews can have rice, but they usually don't. I just feel like the rice would get really overcooked, wouldn't it? I mean, I guess if you add it later, but to me, I'm like, stews is like something that you have to prepare over like several hours, right? Like, if you dump the rice in the stew, in soup is different. We're talking stew here, not soup. Rice and soup is normal. Rice and stew, I think you gotta be careful with that, because like, I feel like the rice would get really overcooked given how long it takes to like actually like stew the stew. But gumbo is served with rice. Yeah, but with rice is different. That's different. The rice is not like, they're not throwing the rice into the stew with like the meat and stuff, you know? Avgolemono soup, for example, famously has soup in it. I sure hope it does. Has rice in it, okay. Guys, I think there's too much soup in my soup. I think I screwed it up. But yeah, the overcookedness can be a feature, I guess. But yeah, no, I've definitely had soup with rice in it before. My mom has made that before. Oh, wait, I need to tell you something. Okay, what is it? At this hour, on Mahjong Monday, after I've been gone for a week, waiter, this soup is unacceptable. It's got too much soup. If you yearn for very porridge-like soup, I guess you can do rice. I don't know, is congee soup? Do you guys think congee is soup? You didn't make an announcement on your Discord about your stream starting? Did I? Well, first of all, that's a bot. First of all, oh, very peculiar. Okay, so the bot appears to... Is the bot broken? Because it's automated. Usually, like, within... What's today? The 23rd. Okay, yeah, I guess it didn't work. Strange. Okay, we're not insulting the bot. We're not insulting the bot here. I'm just... This is the first time I think I've streamed and it has not worked. This is the first time it has not worked. I came from the Blue Sky post. Okay, yeah. Because I know I did going live tweets. Those are not automated. Those are fully handwritten by the EGGY. But yeah, I heard Zia talk about there being no notification and Mahjong Monday, so I checked Discord to be sure and kept watching. I didn't realize we were all this invested in the stream notifications on Discord. But yeah. But yeah. Soup. 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 I'm still in the process of remembering how to stream. Most of our activity on Discord is stream notifications. I talk in my Discord and game posts. Well, okay, to be fair, you guys are the ones who are enclosing the horses. I don't care what the eggplants are doing. I'm not enclosing horses. I have enough to do. I haven't even rattled in like a month. My job gives me actual work to do, and now I don't even have time to do daily games. Like, get her having her tough month in February. So how was the visit? Oh, I was talking about that earlier. It was nice and good. We got to have K-barbecue and play Jenga and go to karaoke and have hot pot, and it was nice and good. And we wore Lolita one of the days, and not the other, because the other one I was at work. But yeah, her and Elliot were like Pikmin bloom farming. Not to the extent that Bodega was, but yeah. But yeah, it was nice and good. It was nice and good. I'm happy that people can get to Canada. People can get to Canada. You guys gonna take me to a gourmet tour and it's scary. I don't know, cause like there was still one more restaurant that I wanted to take Zia and Elliot to, but we didn't get to do that because, I mean, to be fair, like out of the places I wanted to take them, like 2 out of the 3 were hot pot places. So I'm like, we can't just have hot pot 2 days in a row. I mean, I guess you could. There's nothing stopping you. Cause yeah, there's like a really good hot pot place that I wanted to take them, but like it was kind of in the opposite direction of literally everything else we wanted to do. So I'm like, Oh, I need to know, because I know Elliot was like, no, I need to have a beaver tail. I need to know if you got to have a beaver tail. I think he did. But, you know, beaver tails aren't as common in Canada as you think they would be. Like, maybe if you go to like super touristy places, they'll have like the beaver tail trucks, but I feel like just like walking down the street, you're not gonna find them. Beaver tails are sweet, right? Yes, beaver tails, there are not actual tails of beaver. Beaver tails are like, imagine like a donut, but completely flat and also big. Like imagine if you had like about a donut's worth of dough, but you just like squished it flat and then deep fried it. I think in the US they call them elephant ears. Yeah, elephant ear. I've never heard bear claw. That's a new one, but I think that, yeah, they call them elephant ears in the States. But yeah, the usual flavor is like cinnamon sugar. They have other flavors and none of them are worth it. I feel like maybe this is my Canadian hot take, is that actually no, that's a lie. The one that's cinnamon sugar and then they give you like a slice of lemon to drop lemon juice on it, that one's good too. That one's good. But they did not get beaver tails, I asked. No! I mean, see, the only place I know for sure you can get beaver tails is in a completely different city, so I don't know if I would have been terribly helpful in terms of directions. I think the other thing too is I think that because they were here in the winter, because there are other places I know of that have beaver tails, but I think they only do it in the summer, or like they're only open in the summer because it's too cold the rest of the year. Yeah, we have bear claws stateside. They usually have apples and cinnamon. Ooh, apples. Apples. Did you take them sightseeing? No, but they saw their own sights. So, the thing is like, okay. So, Zia and Elliot, they arrived in Canada on I think it was on Sunday. But we didn't get to see them until Monday because they were in Niagara Falls for the first night, and I don't know if they plan to have, like, I don't know if they plan to just do it together, but like I think they underestimated how far Niagara Falls is from Eggy City. So they spent the first night in Niagara Falls. Then Monday they came up to Eggy City, and then we got to see them on Monday, which is convenient because Monday was a statutory holiday, so I got to have all day. And then Tuesday I was at EGGY work. So I know they did things earlier in the day because like they had already been out for a while when I met up with them. But yeah. So we all went out after work. But yeah. Saw their own sights, like in a mirror. No, they saw the frozen Niagara Falls because it freezes over in the winter. Because it gets that cold here. I mean, I'm glad that they came, like, last week and not the week before, though. Because I feel like if they would have come earlier, it would have been, like, sad and miserable and freezing. Like, I don't know. The weather was fine and okay this past week. What's it gonna be like next week? What's in store for Eggy weather? Oh goodness, okay. Oh goodness. We have a roller coaster coming up. Okay. We're getting days where like, oh goodness. Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh goodness. It's not getting as cold as it was like last month, but like I don't know. We're getting a roller coaster. We're getting a roller coaster. But yeah, so but the other thing too is with last week was on top of everything else that was happening, because I went out with Zia and Elliot on Tuesday, we are completely out of whack in terms of groceries. So I was like, because usually I do groceries on Tuesday, I did not get to do groceries on Tuesday, and I spent the rest of the week being like, oh god, I'm out of bread. Oh no, I'm out of yogurt. Oh, I'm out of eggs. What do I make? What do I make? So yeah, that was the rest of the week. But I think I'm back on track. I did lots of big grocery on Sunday. So I should be okay. We are grocery streamer again. But yeah, no, yesterday I tried to make, because I found a recipe for katsu that you can make in the oven, like chicken katsu that you can make in the oven instead of like deep frying it. And like I made it and I was like, okay, this smells good. And then I realized right before like putting it in the oven, or like after I already put it in the oven, I realized I had completely forgotten to season the chicken. So like in terms of texture, they came out pretty nice, but in terms of flavor, it was like completely non-existent. Yeah, baked katsu. Yeah. But yeah, no, I completely forgot to put salt or pepper or any other seasoning on them before I put them in the oven. So I had flavorless chicken. It was also kind of dry. I'm thinking maybe next time I might try it with chicken thighs instead of with chicken breasts, because I just think that the chicken breasts are just like a little too dry for like what this recipe requires. Yeah. So just forgot salt, pepper. Salt is most important. Yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, after I put it in the oven, I was like, oh, it'll probably be fine. The panko will probably, that has flavor, right? The panko does not have flavor. Green. Thighs are too fatty for katsu. Makes great karaage though. Can you do karaage in the oven? Or does that have to be deep fried? Because I've also seen other chicken katsu recipes where you can do it with chicken thighs, but you do have to deep fry them. You can't do it in the oven. Because I've been learning to make chicken teriyaki with chicken thighs recently. But yeah. That's when you start making curry. Yeah, I was just like dumping a bunch of sauce on it. I was like, this'll fix it. I'm sure next time maybe I can like melt a slice of cheese onto it or something. Do like cheese katsu. But yeah, air fryer katsu. I know I've seen, I don't have an air fryer. There's like a toaster oven at work and I've realized how much I miss having a toaster oven. Like my mom had one when I was back at my parents', my mom had one. I mean, she still has one, it's a different one now, but like she has one. And I'm like, I miss toaster oven. Like, yeah, I know that you can use big oven to do largely the exact same thing, but it's not the same. Because it takes like 9,000 years to heat up. Like the whole point of toaster oven is that it's like quick, you know? Toaster oven good. I also miss being able to toast like unconventionally shaped bread. Because like in a regular toaster, you can toast bread, you can toast a bagel, you can toast like anything that's like, you know, a slice. But like if you need to toast like a croissant or something, like it just doesn't work. You just can't do that. I miss being able to toast a croissant. I miss being able to toast like baguettes. I miss being able to toast unconventionally shaped bread, you know? Croissant. Yeah, mom hates the smell of curry and complains every time I make it, but hasn't stopped me. But she will make a ruckus about it. Is it even like a strong? I don't know. I guess some curries can smell strong, but like, it's not like the worst smell. I don't know. I find it really weird because like I feel like my mom has said the same thing about like, oh, I don't like when my kitchen. I'm like you don't want your kitchen to smell too much like food or like any one specific food. And I've always found that odd because I'm like, I feel like if your kitchen doesn't smell like food, then like you've done something wrong. It's a mild gold brand curry mix. Your mother is weak. I'm sorry, because like the sweet curry, like the curry mixes don't even like, they don't produce that much of a smell, I don't think. Like even when you stop cooking. But yeah, it's like, oh no, your kitchen smells like food. Like yeah, if your kitchen smells like rotting food, then that's like a different problem. But like, oh no, I cooked in my kitchen and now it smells like food. What's your problem? What's your problem? Are you also mad that like your lawn smells like grass? Like, let's go play Zhong. Hold on. Let me just check if the Zhong is visible. It's not. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Alright, what are we? 36813. Mods, pin it. I don't think you need to do that. I think I'm about to pin it myself. There we go. 36813. 36813. 36813. I'm gonna pin that on YouTube as well. I would have pinned it though. You would have, but I won. My mom also hates a lot of food, but lives with a guy who cooks for a living, so it's a constant battle about kitchen smells. Speaking of which, I got my hands on a vodka sauce recipe I'm excited to try. Oh yeah, that's like for like pasta, right? Like, I actually don't know much about it other than it's for pasta and it contains vodka. Yeah, I usually have the curry right at the end, so I'm not sure how I could even linger. I don't know, maybe if she doesn't like the smell of, like, garlic? Because usually when I've done, like, the box curry, usually it's like, you know, garlic and onions, and then you add, like, your other, like, potatoes and vegetables, and then you add, like, the sauce is the last thing, but I guess it's like there are, what do they call them, aromatics in there before? Yeah. I'm gonna do it with spaghetti squash, but yeah, it's marinara with cream and vodka. Okay. Just add 2... Is that centiliters? Of vodka and tomato aromas will extract more fully. Ah, okay. Interesting. I've never made it before, but also I don't usually have vodka around the house. But I don't know. I've been doing more cooking. I guess maybe I should make soup before it's no longer soup season. Cause like, I don't know, I don't think I've made much soup this year. Like last year, at this time last year, I was doing so much more soup. I guess soup can be a little time consuming. Summer soup is nice. It's always soup season. That's true. It's never not soup season. But that's kind of in the same way that like it's always coffee season. Like it's like it's not like people stop drinking coffee in the summer. It's just that they stop actively thinking about it, you know? Yeah. The soup just rotates. Get ramen before it's too hot. I mean, I think ramen can also be gotten any time of year, really. Like, I don't know, I'm never concerned about ramen. I feel like ramen is one of those things where it's like, it's never going away. There are like 1 billion ramen restaurants in Eggy City. I'm never concerned. Soup season? Is there a time when you can't harvest soup? I don't know, you're supposed to have soup when it's cold outside because that's when soup feels the nicest. I just haven't had the time to make soup. I have not been at soup, I've been at work. I keep getting French onion soup on my YouTube. I mean, I remember last year for a while, I was on tomato soup YouTube. I was stuck on like tomato, cream of tomato soup YouTube specifically. I kept getting tomato soup recipes. I don't know why specifically tomato soup, but it was always like a very similar recipe of like, you know, you roast a bunch of vegetables in the oven and then you put them in a blender and then you blend them and then you put them in a pot and then you mix that with like heavy cream and such. Yeah, I was just on SoupTube for like a solid while. I don't know, maybe now, since I've figured out how to use the oven after like 2 years of living here, maybe I can, maybe I could be soup. Alright, hello Punk Asian. Can't believe Eggy doesn't work at soup. Look, okay, in my defense, I did actually once apply to work at a ramen place, but they never called me back. I tried to work at soup. They didn't want me. Soup rejected me. Even soup didn't want me. I applied for soup. Eggy figured out how to oven the food. Yeah! So I oved in my katsu the other day. I'm trying to think of other things I could oven. Like, I'm sure there's probably some kind of like... Because like, I know my grandma was telling me, she's like, you know, while I'm gone, you can use like whatever's in like the fridge, freezer, like, since she doesn't want it to go to waste. But like, that's a lot of frozen meals. And a lot of frozen pizzas. I'm like, I don't think I want to eat that many frozen pizzas. But... yeah. Oh no, I need to throw out the milk, I just realized. That like expired yesterday and I need to throw it out before it gets stinky. Ugh. Didn't like soup with eggs. No egg drop soup. No, wait a second. Ramen literally has eggs in it. You literally put an egg in your ramen. That's literally what that's for. That's legitimately what it's for. I was at soup. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to figure out... Ooh! Maybe tonight will be Eggy win. Yay. Yummy points. Yummy points. Yummy. Oh. I'm off to trivia. Enjoy Zhang. Enjoy trivia. Does milk ever go bad before the date? No, but here's the thing. My grandma usually buys like a ton of milk because she just goes through a lot of milk. She drinks a lot of tea, so usually we go through dairy pretty quickly. But like, again, the day that she fell, my aunt just like came in and took like as much milk as she could, but she still left behind some for me. But unfortunately, it was way too much milk, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to get through that in like the 2 days that I have with it. So yeah, I bought my own milk since then. I bought my own milk. But I'm gonna have to throw out what's in the bags, unfortunately. 2 days for milk. Keep in mind, this was milk from, like, that she bought a while ago, that she thought she was going to get through. Does it not last longer? No, this was not freshly bought milk, don't worry. This was milk that had been in the fridge for quite a bit. Ah, yes, the bag. Ah, right. The famous Canadian bags of milk. I don't know. Sometimes I think more things should come in bags. Like, there might not be the most convenient thing to drink out of, but like, if you're just like transporting it and putting it in a jug, nothing wrong with drinking bag. Probably uses less plastic too than a bottle. But the milk I bought though yesterday was in a carton, so I'm breaking the mold here. There should be more plastic bags. Okay, I was thinking about this the other day, because you remember how, like, a few years ago, I don't know if it's the same thing in other countries, but, like, a few years ago, they pretty much outlawed the like, thin, cheap plastic bags that you would get at the grocery store, right? Huh? And I just remember thinking about this the other day, because a lot of stores, they substituted them with these, like, polyester canvas bags, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a scientist, but just based on my own behavior, there's no way that the polyester... I mean, maybe the polyester bags are just, like, don't break as easily, so, like a bird is less likely to, like, strangle itself on it, maybe? But I'm like, surely the canvas bags cannot be that much better for the environment. Because, like, the thing with the bags, right, is that, like, even back when we had, like, the normal plastic bags, I would usually only get them if I forgot to bring a bag, right? But given how often I forget my grocery bags, or I don't bring enough grocery bags, surely by this point I've wasted more plastic in polyester bags than I ever would have in the thin plastic bags, right? Because, like, I don't know, we are drowning. Plastic bags aren't that bad if stable enough or reused enough. Yeah, because, like, I'm perpetually drowning in those, like, canvas polyester bags. Because, like, my grandma, she would get her groceries delivered, and every time they would deliver it, we would be getting, like, 6 more bags. And, like, we can't do anything with them. Like, at that point, they're just garbage because we're just, like, drowning in them. Do you forget to take them with you? Very often, yes. Either that, or I take one, but it's not big enough for all the things. Yeah, and yeah, when they deliver it, they deliver it in bags. So it's like, okay, let's surely this is more wasteful. Surely we can't be preventing that much waste, right? Yeah, I tend to just stuff my groceries into my backpack. See, my problem is I'll take a grocery bag with me. Like, I have one of those, like, ones that, like, folds into a little pouch. So I take that with me. But then what keeps happening is that, like, I'll buy something that, like, I underestimate both how big the groceries are and how heavy they are. So sometimes they'll fit in the bag, but then I'll like lift the bag and I'm like, okay, so that is going to like rip open and all my stuff is gonna fall out if I try to carry it like this. Or it just like straight up doesn't fit. Like I forgot how big bread is and it just like doesn't fit. So then I have to get a second bag, or I throw things in my gym bag, which is probably not the best choice, but it's probably fine. Because, like, the other thing, too, is, like, there are certain groceries I prefer to have in a separate bag. Like, nothing wrong with it, but, like, I feel like meat, even when it's, like, packaged and, like, not actually touching anything else, I just always prefer to have that in, like, its own bag, you know? Even when it's not touching anything else. Like, there are things, like, I think bread can go in, like, the gym bag. That's fine. Like, condiments in bottles, that's probably fine. But, no, if I buy chicken or something, I'm like, no, that needs to be in its own bag. Ugh. Ugh. And I also didn't get to exercise last week that much, so now I'm also going ooh, 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 ooh. It's unfortunate. You exercise and you go ooh, 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 ooh. And then you don't exercise and then you go ooh, 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 ooh for a different reason, you know? Wow, 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 wow. Then, sleepy. I'm sleepy. There's some weird exercises. Well, it's like, it's normal exercise. But it's like, you know, you go to the gym and then, like, the next day you wake up and you're kind of sore and you're like, ooh, 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 as you try to move around. But if you don't go to the gym, then it's also ooh, 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 ooh. But that might just be because I'm sleepy and I'm sitting in an uncomfortable chair. Not that my chair at work is that much more comfortable, but at the very least it's like a temporary measure and not something permanent. Oh, remind me, I should buy... I know I just had like a whole thing about wasting plastic, but at work they have like a Keurig machine, and I'm like, apparently I was like wondering where everybody was making their coffee because I thought there was like some stash of Keurig pods somewhere that I just didn't see, and it turns out that no, in fact, everyone is just bringing their own. So I need to go buy like a pack of Keurig. Like, I think, what they call them, like K-Cups or something? I'll have to check. I think it's Keurig. I hope it's not like Nescafe or something. I hope I'm not like buying the wrong brand of cups and they're gonna like, the machine is going to explode. But yeah, it's like a fancy one too. Yeah, K-Cups are usually the thing. Well, cause like, okay, at previous EGGY job, they actually had a Keurig machine, but literally nobody used it. Because I think they, for whatever reason, they decided they're like, okay, we're gonna have a Keurig machine, but then we're also going to have like a fancy espresso machine where you like press a button and it makes a latte. So obviously everyone went for the fancy espresso machine where you press a button and it makes a latte, and the Keurig was just like collecting dust. So I never actually learned how to use it. I think my parents have one, and they figured out how, well, they figured out, not that it's difficult, but yeah. I have to say though, the coffee, I mean, I don't think it was the machine's fault. I did not particularly like the coffee from the fancy machine that makes it at the press of a button. Like, I think it was just the blend of coffee they were using was like too acidic. Or although, okay, to be fair, also, I, as one of the few tea drinkers in that office, also, too, had to suffer more often than everybody else. Because when they would clean the machine, when they would send, like, the cleaning solution or whatever through it, even after the cleaning cycle was done, sometimes there would be, like, kind of a taste residue left over of the, like, the cleaner. So this would show up if you drank if you drank hot water, but it would not be detectable if you drank coffee. So there was like one day where I remember I made a cup of tea and I drank it and it tasted like vinegar. Like it tasted like I was drinking vinegar. So I was like spitting it out instantly, and my coworker's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "This tastes really weird." And like he was drinking coffee from like the same machine. I was like, "Is your coffee taste normal?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, I felt like I was going insane for a bit before I had somebody else be like, "Oh yeah, the machine does that sometimes." It was, I felt like I was going insane. I was like the only tea drinker there who was there. There was like one other person who drank tea, but he wasn't there that day. So I was just sitting there like feeling like I was going insane, and everybody else was just drinking their coffee as normal. It was yucky. It was very yucky. Thank you for the reminder. I'm not sure what I reminded you of, but you're welcome. Coffee drinkers gaslighting Eggy. Yeah! The machine just drops vinegar instead of coffee. Well, because, like, I don't know why the hot water worked this way, but, like, if you poured hot water, you would still be tasting, like, the cleaner in it. But if you poured coffee, for whatever reason, I guess it just went through a different tube or something. And it would just, like, not do that. Which means I was being punished for no reason. Probably starting a cleaning cycle for his machine. Well, it's like, okay. Because, I mean, to be fair, the cleaning cycle for the machine involved basically, like... I guess it, like, passed through the hot water tubes. Ooh. But, like, it's weird, because I was under the impression that the coffee was taking the hot water from, like, the same tube. So I'm like, why is it only affecting, like, the tea water and not, like, the coffee water? Either that, or maybe the coffee blend was, like, so acidic that it, like, maybe it would... maybe it did taste like vinegar and everybody was just so used to it that nobody noticed it. Because, yeah, no, I did not care for that coffee blend. I don't know what it was, but I didn't care for it. It turns out I can like coffee. Just not that one. Not that one. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like there's, like, different ways that coffee can be acidic. And I like when coffee is, I like when it's acidic in, like, a fruity way. Like, where it tastes kind of like an orange, kind of, you know? But I don't like when it's acidic in, like, a vinegar way, you know? Because then it's just yucky. Getting paid for giving you all my points. There are no stakes here. This is friendlies. There is literally 0 stakes. Except having to have everybody watch you lose. Oh no. Look at this guy losing at Mahjong. The worst possible fate, losing at Mahjong. Point and laugh. Point and laugh. Engage in vicious mockery. Look at this unforgivable crime. Oh, hi, Bubba. Hello, Bubba. Are you streaming soon? I saw the little bodega rat is playing VTube Studio thing pop up in the corner. Hey, Eggy, you play visual novels, right? Yes, I endeavor to. In a perfect world, I do, yes. I don't know, I've been playing some lately. Yes, hi Iggy and Richie, I am. You are Bubba. But yes, hello Bubba. Do we need a shout out for Bubba? I can shout out Bubba. I think everyone already. Oh, hold on. I think everyone already knows who Bubba is, but I will shout out Bubba regardless. Ah! I didn't do a shout out for Faye earlier. I forgot. I got too wrapped up in arguing about tacos that I forgot to shout out Faye. I would shout out myself that it feels improper. Can you even do that on Twitch? I forget. I shouted out Faye. Oh, thank you. Okay. But yes, thank you all for playing. Rest in peace, Behoimi. Point and laugh. Point and laugh. How animated are visual novels usually? I'm currently playing through Witch on the Holy Night, and it's more or less my first one outside of a couple outliers. Now I'm curious. Usually not animated at all. It really depends on the budget, I think. Because, like, obviously animating stuff costs more than having it just stand still, right? But I feel like out of most of the visual novels that I think about playing, yeah, I think most of them aren't animated. I feel like the animated ones are kind of the outlier. If I wasn't eating a banana split right now, I'd be Zhang. And oh, look at this guy eating a banana split. You're gonna share that with the rest of us? Or you're not gonna banana split it? You're gonna banana take it all? Unbelievable. Yeah, sometimes the sprites are live 2D, but that's more for games where the characters are extra jiggly. Yeah, but again, I feel like that's also kind of like an outlier. Because like, what are like... I also think it's also might be a technology thing. Because, like, games that are made nowadays kind of have infinite space to work with. But I also know that, like, animated sprites literally take up more cartridge space than, like, still images, right? So I know that that's like another thing as well, was like technological limitations. So if it was something that was originally released like a long time ago or for like a less powerful console, then I know that's like another thing. But I mean, I feel like a lot of games when they do re-releases, I feel like animated sprites, or at least sprites that move around a little, are like something that I feel like I've seen a lot of remakes doing. But yeah, I feel like for like visual novels, usually I feel like it's like static sprites, and if there is animation, then it's like open mouth, closed mouth, open mouth, closed mouth kind of thing, you know? I feel like it's not enough live 2D in VNs. I think, yeah, it really depends, I think. Because I feel like there's like a limit for me of how much you can animate the sprites before it gets distracting. Because, like, I feel like in gacha games, you know, if I'm playing, like, well, like Uma Musume, right? Like, they move a little bit while they have, like, the talking scenes, but, like, they're not very long, right? So, like, it's not like my focus needs to be maintained, else I will, like, lose my spot, right? Like, it's Uma Musume. But, like, if I'm trying to imagine, like, reading a longer visual novel where everything is moving all the time, and I think I would go insane after a little bit. I think I saw a live 2D in a Princess Maker type game on Next Fest, which is intriguing. I mean, I know live 2D's been used in, like, games for a long time, though, right? Like, I feel like most mobile games work with, like, stuff like Project Sekai and Bang Dream. They've been using live 2D for a while, I think. I remember there was, like, a whole thing, too, a while back, where, like, people had to tell each other to stop doing this because it's like, yeah, you could actually get in big trouble for it. But somebody figured out how to, like, rip live 2D models from some, like, popular gacha games, and were trying to, like, VTube stream with it. So they would, like, rip, like, a model from, like, Project Sekai, and then they would, like, stream with it. And, like, I'm assuming, I never saw somebody do this, but, like, I heard about it, and I can only assume that the rig would be insanely janky, because, like, they're not built for that. They're not really built for that, you know? It's like, I feel like it would be like trying to, like, do, like, full body tracking with, like a 3D model that doesn't have like rigged arms and legs. Like I feel like it would get really janky, but yeah. Yeah, I think someone's ripped models and reversed why the models are so jiggly. Jiggle physics reverse engineering. I mean, I feel like for 3D models, people have kind of been doing that for years, right? Of like ripping from games. But yeah, I guess anything Natsu is just high budget. But yeah, no, I think sprites moving around is not the norm, I think. It's a very recent norm, and I think it exists more commonly for remakes, more so than anything else, I think. And that's mostly just because, like, they can. I feel like maybe it's a way they justify the remakes, but... Whoa. The new Steins Gate remake was getting live 2D models, if I remember correctly. Yeah, aren't they doing that with Danganronpa? When does that come out again? Is it like November of this year? I can't remember. Like Danganronpa 2x2. They're also moving them around a little bit. Yeah. Type Moon is just a doujin circle with a budget, and Type Moon itself is still small. Yeah, I guess it is one of those things. I also think that, like, probably the visual novels are probably, like, one of the less profitable things about the franchise. Like, I can't imagine that they would make as much money with, like, the visual novels as they would be making with, like Fate Go, or merchandising, or... like... I imagine probably, like, on the priority list, like, the visual novels are probably, like, further down. Would you write Danganronpa 2, aka the only Danganronpa? There are other ones. For plot reasons, I understand why, if they're doing a remake, why they're going for 2. Because there's just things you can do with 2 that you inherently cannot do with the other ones. Yeah. Big Grand Order just prints money and the fans buy everything. It feels more like a heart thing. Yeah. Well, it's like... I'm glad that they eventually released the original, like, Fate visual novel in English, because I feel like that was, like, a very vital missing piece of Fate for English-speaking fans for the longest time. But... in the age of VTubers, they needed the visual novel character... VTubers to promote a remake, remaster, re-release. Rentaro VTuber where, oh my god, okay. I remember, does anybody remember this? You might have seen the GIF. I'll have to see if I can find it. I'm gonna have to find it. Like 9 billion years ago, I think this was like 2017 or 2018. This was like very, 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 very early on in VTubing. I remember reading about this. So you know School Days, like the Nice Boat anime? It's based off a visual novel, right? And I think at one point, back when everybody was trying to, like, you know, make everything into a VTuber, they tried this with one of the characters. Like, they had, like, I guess the voice actor go on and, here it is. They tried to have her go on and, like, you know, improv as a character. But the thing is that, like, I think the live 2D model they used, I'm gonna, like, link this piece of it. The live 2D model they use is, like, the most jank thing on Earth. Like, even by very early live 2D standards. I'm not even sure this model was cut at all. I think they legitimately just took, like, a sprite from the game and, like, squashed and stretched it around, and that's how they rigged it. Here we go. When was this? This was, like, really, really early on. 5 years ago. This was uploaded in 2020. This almost certainly happened before. But yeah, no, this is what I think about. This is what I keep thinking about every time people talk about, like, VTubers and visual novels. This is what keeps coming to mind. I think they redid the model later, so I think later they had, like, a model that, like, moves like a normal person. Or at least like a normal VTuber. But yeah, that's what keeps coming to mind. Oh no, yeah, but yeah, no. I feel like they weren't like the only ones who tried to do something like this at the beginning of like, let's take an established character and have the voice actor like improv. I think the other thing too though is that like not all voice actors are inherently going to be good at improv, right? Like it like voice acting and improv are not, they're related talents, but they are not something that inherently everybody can do both, you know? So yeah, wasn't there this Japan learning the game had 2 sibling VTubers? And then they graduated? Ah, yes, the 2 sibling VTubers. Yeah, that was like another one. That was another one. Well, like that was actually sort of, they were doing a similar thing, right? Like of like, here's existing characters, and then we're gonna have them stream. What if they were VTubers? They're VTubers now. Oops, they're too good at it. But I don't know, it's really funny when I think about like how so much of early VTubing as well was just like corporate mascots. Like a lot of early VTubers were just like it's not even like corporate VTubing like HoloLive. It's like corporate VTubing, like this is literally the mascot for like a company. Like this is a beer company and this is their mascot, you know? Like to me I'm still like, it's weird how much that's been like, I mean, I guess it mostly happened in Japan, so like it wasn't something that like the English-speaking world would have known much about, but HoloLive is now a Dodgers mascot and you cannot convince me otherwise. The true purpose of Gargura. This is the Dodgers mascot. There are now over 50 Dodgers mascots now. The international mascot for eggs. Egg mascot. Egg mascot. I don't know. I've seen ads before for, what is it, like Egg Farmers of Canada or something? Egg Farmers of Canada, hit me up. I am literally golden marketing opportunity here. I'm literally the representative of eggs. I'm literally the egg. I am the egg. The egg board knows. Is the egg board aware of me? Of egg? Are the egg farmers aware? Do they know? I don't know. I don't think there are many sports teams called the Eggs. I was like, yeah, a sports team called the Eggs, and I'm like, nobody would name their sports team the Eggs. Here come the Eggs. Their star, I don't know, what sport would they be playing? It'd be football, isn't it? Because some people call it hand egg. She's the egg who can step up. Not the step egg, but the egg who stepped up. Nah, cricket. I don't know, maybe golf. I mean, golf balls are kind of the size of an egg, roughly. But yeah, who'd name their team the Eggs, though? Would you cheer for the Eggs? Would you cheer for a team called the Eggs? Because, like, I feel like sports teams... I was gonna say, I feel like sports teams usually try to pick something that's, like, kind of, like, intimidating sounding. But then, I don't know... There's the Montreal Canadiens. There's the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know, are Blue Jays scary? Maybe some people think Blue Jays are scary. The New York New Yokes. If it's golf, I'd expect Bloom to be a mascot. At that point, I don't think he would be the mascot. I think the mascot would just be, like, a bottle. What's that one emote he has of, like, the bottle of Malort wearing the boater hat? The Yokies. The New York Yokies. I don't know. Yokies sounds like it would be a slur for like something. I don't know what. It just has that vibe to it. I don't think I like it. Yeah. Yolks. The eggs. The New York New Yolks. As opposed to the New York... I don't know, I was saying earlier, I was like, oh yeah, sports team name should be intimidating, and I'm like, the Mets? What's that short for? Like the Metropolitans? I don't think that's very scary. I just don't think it's very scary. Oh, you afraid of a bunch of guys who live in a city? Like... the Metropolitans. Oh no. They live in a highly populated urban area. Scary. The Knicks are the Knickerbockers? Really? Like the underwear? I mean, I guess you got the Red Sox, right? Like, they are just socks. They are just socks. Like, oh no, you guys are afraid of socks? What are you, 5? It's not about the money, Spider-Man. It's all about the Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. I love the Mets. Oh yeah, the other day I watched, just kind of on a whim, because for some reason I thought Netflix didn't have it, but it turns out that they do. I watched the first Spider-Verse movie for the first time. I don't know why. I somehow, like, survived from 2018 to now, and I had never watched any of them. There's only 2 of them, right? I think? I had never watched either of them, somehow. But on a whim, I just, like, watched the first one. And I was like, okay, that was alright. I don't have strong thoughts about it. I'm sorry. I'm not a superhero person. I did think it was kind of interesting, though. To me... I don't know if this is like an apt description, but like watching it I'm like, this is probably how it feels to watch Toy Story. In the sense of like, cause like Spider-Verse was like, they didn't invent it, but they kind of developed an animation style that has gone on to just become increasingly common. Like, and it feels like watching Toy Story in the sense of like, you're kind of watching the first people to have ever done it like this. And it's like, it's not, like, compared to something like K-pop Demon Slayers, which feels like a more, like, evolved version of this kind of style, I feel like it's, like it feels less evolved, but also it's, like, the movie's not even 10 years old yet, and it's, like, already I'm like, I can't believe this looks somewhat dated, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of wild that I can say that. But yeah, 3rd movie in production hell. Well, didn't the first one came out, what, 2018? And the second one was what, like 2022? 2023? Which made it, so it's like 5-year gap. Granted, some of that was probably COVID. Cause like, if it can't be that long between them. But I don't know, like 5 years between movies doesn't sound like, that's not like... Oh, the 3rd movie got delayed multiple times. Oh, okay, so it was supposed to be out and then it didn't. Okay. Because that I guess that makes sense. Because I was gonna be like, it's like 5 years to make a very fancy, high-budget animated movie. That doesn't sound like unreasonable, I don't think. But I guess if it was supposed to come out and then it didn't, then okay, I guess that makes more sense. But, yeah. I don't know, again, I don't have strong thoughts on Spider-Man, but it looked cool. I wish I had something better to say, but yeah, like, it looked... Yeah, it was like, yeah, you're watching them do this for the first time ever, I guess. It's supposed to be out 2 years ago? Wait, what year is it now? We're 2026. Wasn't it? Wasn't there one that came out like When did the second one come out? For some reason, my brain is like, oh, that was 2022 or 2023. But I know if you're like, oh, it's supposed to be out 2 years ago, then that can't be right. Unless they were working on them, like, simultaneously? But yeah, I'll definitely watch the second one though. Like, I like the first one enough that I am willing. I say this as if it's a chore. I will watch the second one. I will watch the second one. Yeah, I guess I will do a quick one before sleep. Because somebody join so Zully can go to sleep. Otherwise, he will fall asleep at his keyboard. And then who knows what kind of ridiculous plays he's gonna make then. So it's supposed to be 2024, then delayed to 2025, and now it's apparently 2027. Okay. What year are we again? We're 2026. I was like, oh, they're gonna do it 2 years from now. My brain is still in 2025. Spider-Verse 2 came out in 2023. Okay, but then, like, wouldn't it coming out in 2024 be, like, absolutely absurd then? Unless, well, I mean, unless, I guess maybe the second one was probably supposed to come out earlier, but then COVID happened. I guess? I can't join yet. Are you not done your banana split? Are you not done? Are you not done? Well, I'm not at home in the first place. Standing outside eating a banana split in the freezing cold? Might as well bring a talking topic. Alright, what do you have for show and tell, Zully? I swear things happen this week. I feel like I do the thing where, like, something interesting will happen to me. Or I'll think of something interesting and I'll be like, I should say that on stream. I should talk about that on stream. And then I turn on stream and I forgot about everything that's ever happened to me before. There was a big strike in the acting film industry a while ago, maybe still having issues. Oh, right, yeah, I guess that was around that time, wasn't it? Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense. I totally forgot about that. The other thing I learned from playing Witch of the Holy Night is that I actually really dislike choices. Like, really not into it. If a novel is basically kinetic, it's better. I mean, I guess that makes it more of a novel, right? Personally, I kind of like having choices. I mean, yeah, I don't think I have a preference of, like, choices or no choices. Like, I can't ever say that I've played, like, a visual novel that had, like, multiple endings and been like, nah, they should have cut half the endings. But, like, I don't think I've ever played, like, a more kinetic novel type and been like, man, that should have had choices. They should have let me choose to do stuff. I don't think... It's like, it's apples and oranges to me. Yeah. Doesn't have a character creation, I suck at making them. I don't know, I like having character creation, even though I end up making... Oh, is Tomodachi Life out? Or is that... When's Tomodachi Life? Is it out? Did it come out when I wasn't looking? Like, Paranormal Sight 2 came out when I was looking. I just haven't had the time to play it yet. It's in my Steam library. I haven't had the time yet. March? Oh, wait, no, it's next month? When does Tomodachi Life come out again? If it was out, you probably would know. Well, I don't know. I just thought maybe, like... Because, like, the Animal Crossing DLC came out, and I barely knew about it. Like, everyone just completely forgot to tweet about it, so I just forgot. I think I don't want to follow the story of my character. I want to follow the story of characters. Ah, so you're like... You don't want, like, the protagonist to feel too, like, self-insert-y, kinda? I mean, I don't know, because, like, I guess... I've played visual novels that, like, have choices and at the same time don't. Like, I guess Fata Morgana is kind of like that. In, like, there are points where there's choices, but they're not really choices. It's more just like, do you want to get a bad end or do you not want to get a bad end? Or there'll be things where it's choices, but it's not really choices. It's like choices in the same way that like, you know, when like parents are trying to get their kid to do stuff, so they're like, do you want to eat dinner first or take a bath first? And like either way, the kid is gonna eventually do both. It just like makes them feel more empowered, I guess, to pick one or the other. And I feel like it has a few choices like that, where it's like, you're gonna have to get to all of this anyway, but you know, you can choose what order you do it in, you know? April 16th. April 16th? Really? I thought it was... I don't know why I thought it was earlier. I don't want to have an influence on the outcome, kind of. This is one question away from becoming improper for a child. Well, no, I don't know. That was like what they taught me in babysitting, like babysitting courses when working with children, is like, children like to feel like they're making choices. So like, you need to make them feel like they have some kind of agency over their life. So you can be like, oh, do you want to wear like your red sweater or your blue sweater? And then like, they'll have to pick a sweater regardless. It's just that like, it's the sweater that they chose, you know? Makes me remember of choices, and the MC ends up saying both choices as one sentence. Well, isn't there also, wasn't there a game, like, you know when you have some games where you pick a dialogue option and then, like, it continues in a direction that you didn't plan for? Like, the three-choice slop of indie games. Well, no, it's like you got the persona choices, where it's like, okay, you got the nice choice, you got the mean choice, and then you got the silly choice. Those are your choices. Actually, I feel like that's a lot of video game dialogue choices. It's like, do you want to be nice, mean, or silly? Want to be good or evil or silly? Silly. Yeah, I don't mind as much in something like Genshin. I don't know. I don't remember the Genshin having particularly good dialogue choices. I feel like a lot of them were either just like, or okay. Like... Instead of asking what to eat, say, pick between these two places. Yeah. Honestly, that almost... we should do that for each other as adults, because somebody being like, so where do you want to go for dinner is a lot more stressful than somebody being like, okay, do you want fast food or do you want a sit-down restaurant? And then you, like, can, like, break that choice down a little more as you go, you know? Like, okay, do you want pizza or do you want ramen? And then you're like, I don't know, maybe pizza. That's a cool choice, but you don't have enough coolness for saying it. You don't have enough guts. Persona, the other game that solidified my preferences. I plan to finish Persona 4 by June this year, which would mark 2 years from me starting the game. It's fine. We're on, like... I started Umineko in 2022. We're heading into year 4 of me not having finished Umineko, so you're fine. You're fine. And, like, Umineko doesn't even have choices. Man, it's so wild. I was in, like, a completely different point in my life when I started this game. And here I am in a completely different part of my life. And I still haven't finished it. Like, I don't even know what my life is gonna look like when I finish Umineko. Not in the sense of, like, I won't know what to do with myself, but, like, I legitimately don't know, like, where am I going to be living? What job am I going to be working? Like, what is my life going to look like when the day I finish Umineko? Like, will I be sad and alone? Will I be surrounded by friends? Will I have lots of money? Why do I sound like I'm dying? When I finish Umineko, I plan to continue living after I finish playing Umineko. But how long is Umineko anyway? Well, technically they divided Umineko into like 2 games, and they're like 40 hours each. So I think like there's like question arcs and answer arcs. And I finished question arcs. It's 2 games, not 4. So there's like 8 chapters, I think. But they divide it in 2. So if you go on Steam, you have like Umineko question arc and Umineko answer arc, which is like basically just the first half and the second half. You might be thinking of Higurashi. I think Higurashi was the one that they separated into 4. When Umineko is over, I'll be over. No, because then I can... Then everybody who keeps telling me I should have read Higurashi first can, like, stop bothering me about it. Because then I'll go read Higurashi. I'm sorry for being interested in the visual novel where everyone's wearing a fancy dress instead of the visual novel where everyone's wearing a school uniform. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for having aesthetic preferences. What is Golden Fantasia? Oh yeah, isn't that isn't that the fighting game? Isn't that the Umineko fighting game? I think. But yeah, what would I do after I finish? Well, maybe okay. What would be next on the list after I finish one day when I'm very elderly in my retirement? In my old age, when I finally finish Umineko and Higurashi. What would I do next? Probably Fate. Starting Fate for like the 5th time. Surely this will be the run. That's crazy. Why are you not playing that? How much does it cost on Steam? Hold on. Like, I also don't know, like, what the reviews are. Like, I don't know if it's, like, a good fighting game. $30. I'll add it to the wish list. I guess I can wait for it to go on sale. Probably has old netplay. Yeah, wait for end of March. Yeah. Oh, what is Steam Next Fest? From now until March 2nd? You think I have time between now and March 2nd? Let's see. What's going on Steam Next Fest that I might be interested in? I am seeing 2 separate Mahjong games. One of them looks significantly more AI generated than the other. I'm gonna be real. Are there any good like visual Oh right, I forgot that you can check by genres. Visual novel, please. I want to play a visual novel demo that's gonna leave me on a cliffhanger before I completely forget to buy the actual game. Okay, we got... Okay, I just... do we have anything with mystery? I forgot that when you hit the visual novel button on Steam, Steam is like, ah, yes. Boobies? Oh, there's Yuri. Okay. Yeah, summer's probably more interesting for Next Fest. Yeah. It's just like remembering, I think. Because the other thing too is like I've played some really good Next Fest demos and then I keep forgetting when the actual like release date is, and then I just like never go back. Or okay, there's also like a huge stack of like I have a huge stack of visual novels where they keep saying, oh, we're fixing the translation, we're working on the translation, we're fixing the translation. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the translation to be fully fixed, and then I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know what's been happening in the past few years. I think this might be a trade-off for being able to have, like, games that release in English on the same day. But, like, I feel like there's been way more visual novels that have come out in the past few years where, like, they have to make, like, a huge overhaul to the translation. Yeah. It's a game I like. I keep the demo in my library. Yeah, I have like a bajillion demos installed on my laptop as well. And I've played most of them. But... yeah. Okay, go, go, go. Ah, yes, okay, hold on. I can keep yapping. I can keep yapping. Let's do this so Zully can go to sleep. Yeah, one game I kept talking about MagFest released its demo today for next fest is Magus Circle? Is it Magus Circle or Magus Circle? But...
Senpai.
No, I remember there was like a number of good Steam... There was a number, like last time for Steam Next Fest, there was like a number of good visual novels that I at least like played the demos for. There was one that was like a murder mystery. It was like an Ace Attorney style murder mystery, and it was about VTubers. I can't remember the name. I have the demo in my library. I think it was like the secret face of VTubers or something. It was fun. It was cute. I liked it. The people who are making it are very clearly like into VTubers. Friendlies, if I play mean and aggressively. Antagonistlies. Bad friends. You just be a bad friend then. Yeah, it's like the difficulty endure meme, but with VNs and translation. Well, no, because like I feel like this didn't happen before, but like I feel like there's been like at least a few games where I've considered buying them recently, but the translation was like not unplayably, but like they would have in the page being like, yeah, we're overhauling the translation. Like there was just like egregious errors in it. And I swear this didn't happen before. Like sometimes games would be released and they'd have to like correct some things after release. And they would just do that in a patch, but like a full overhaul where it's like a multi-month project of updates before they just didn't fix them. Well, I mean, to be fair, at some point in history, they couldn't, right? Like, if something shipped, it's like, well, we can't really, like... Before stuff was online, they couldn't really go back and correct it, right? Like, if the miracle never happened in Ace Attorney today, like, the miracle would just happen, right? The miracle never happened would just not happen today, you know? Or at least it would happen for, like, 5 minutes before somebody noticed and went back and fixed it, right? The miracle never happened. Like, the miracle just wouldn't happen today. That just wouldn't happen. But... No, because there's, like, been a few games where, like... People... Like, I've seen complaints about the translation that seem to actually hold water. Like, it's not just people being, like, nonsense about it. Like... I've seen it more than it used to be, and I'm a little concerned. Like, I don't know if it's like are people flying too close to the sun with machine translation, or is there like some like translation agency that's just going around like scamming small game devs? Both, maybe? I don't know. But like, I swear this wasn't an issue before, at least not to the same extent. Cause yeah, like what's that one that I want to play? It was the other Kodaka one. Shoot and Order. Shoot and Order. I want to play that one, but I keep having to check back to check if they've actually finished fixing the translation or not. There was another one I played. This was like another Steam Next Fest one that I played. I think it was like something like Type Noise Shonen Shoujo, I think. And I didn't think the demo played fine, but I was seeing a lot of reviews saying that there was some like pretty big issues with the translation. So maybe it's another thing of maybe they're hiring different translators for like the demo versus the full thing. Because I imagine, like, translating, like, a 2-hour demo is probably cheaper than to, like, translate a full game. So, like... Because I feel like I've seen other games like that, where, like, the demo translation... Urban Myth Dissolution Center was like that, where, like, I played the demo and, like, everything read fine. And then when I played the full game, it's like, there were definitely things that I'm like, no, this was phrased differently in the demo, and this feels worse. Like, I guess they had a different team, but yeah. I started putting into perspective what it means for VN to be 40 hours. That's a lot of text. Books being 400 pages max is a limitation that visual novels simply don't have. Yeah. Well, plus it's like, you got multiple endings. You got... I mean, to be fair, a certain amount of text in visual novels is just ellipses. But, like... I guess the thing with visual novels, too, is that, like... It's like a genre that is extremely labor-intensive to have in English, but also is not that popular compared to other genres of game, right? Yeah, like a significant amount of dialogue is just ellipses. But, you know... But yeah, churning them out for a quick sale. But yeah, it's like, because it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a publisher thing? Because I don't remember 100 Line having issues like that at release. But also, that was like published by like Aniplex or something, so maybe they had like better access to translation stuff? I don't know. Hundy Line, that's like another one. You know what? You know what? I haven't found another job yet. I swear when this job ends in like 2 weeks, I'm just going to lock myself in my house and like play visual novels for like a week. If you do not hear from me for like a week, that is probably what I'm doing. I'm just going to have to play like visual novels until I get completely tired of it. Eggy neat arc. I can be neat for 1 week, okay? Like, I know it's something I shouldn't be doing, but, you know, I can do this to myself for 1 week, and then go back to normal. Play visual novels until I get tired of it, then move on with my life. It's cold outside anyway, it's not like I'm missing out on, like, nice weather or anything. Neat sounds awesome. Well, I mean, it is for a short period of time. I was unemployed for almost all of last year, and I would not like a repeat of that. March Eggy neat. No! I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to apply to jobs. I'm trying to be employed. I've had a good employed streak of like 4 months. Granted, that was like 4 months of with like a huge hole in the middle for January. And it was also like 4 months of it was like 4 months of 2 different jobs, but I would like job, but instead of applying, I played visual novel all day. I mean, I can't blame you. Can't blame you. Can't say I wouldn't do the same. When can I retire? Yeah, when can I retire so I play visual novel? I mean, to be fair, the job that I left in 2024, it did feel like retirement when I finished that job. I was like... I guess I was just that tired, where I'm just like, yep, I've been working this job for 20 years, and now I'm ready to retire. And when it's like, no, it's been like 9 months. Yeah. Playing a VN for an entire day is exactly what I needed. I mean, I think it is actually okay every once in a while to just do some nonsense. I too have played solitaire while drinking Monster Energy after waking up at like 2 in the afternoon and watching Northern Lion. For like one day. Would I want that to be every day? No, but like it was incredibly pleasant for the one day that I did it. Bit of a neat expert from past experience, exactly what I needed. But no, I'm literally trying. I'm literally trying. You see, if I'm trying it, I'm not a neat. I'm not a neat if I'm trying to find a job, you know? It only counts if you're like not trying. It only counts if you're not looking for a job, you know? Like, I remember during COVID having the thought of like, am I a NEET? And I'm like, no, I'm literally in school. I'm literally a student. It's like, I never come out of my room and I play video games all day and I'm like, no, it's a pandemic and I am literally in school right now. This doesn't count. It literally doesn't count. Sure. To wake up in the afternoon for the whole week. I mean, I'm trying to also not wake up in the afternoon. See, I think it's possible to wake up early and take advantage of the day by playing visual novels all day. Because I think my problem is that, like, I will wake up late. I will wake up at, like, noon, and then I will be, like, 3 hours later, I'll be like, why is it 3 p.m.? I can't believe that 3 hours afternoon is 3 p.m. Like, no. So, like, at the very least, it's like, at least wake up at, like, 8 or 9 a.m. So I'm not, like, angry when it's, like, when it's something else later. Just gotta sleep earlier. I'm gonna need to sleep earlier tonight. I'm not happy about that. I went to bed late last night, and I woke up and I was like, I can't believe I'm sleepy. But at least I started stream sort of on time today. I feel like the past few streams I've been starting a little later than I'd like, but yeah, because I've been streaming for like just about a little less than 2 hours. And I plan to go for probably 1 more hour. Man! Yeah. For someone who wants to go to bed, I sure keep winning as East. Yeah, can somebody just like get like some kind of super... who's in 4th place? You're in 4th place, right? DW. Can somebody just like hit DW with like a super giant Yakuman that will take like 1 billion points? So Zolly can go to bed. Consume sleep slop. What is sleep slop? This is sleep slop. You only like it because it makes you feel rested. What? Sleep slop is something I just made up. I mean, I guess sometimes you can, like, you know, when you, like, sleep and wake up and you don't really feel rested, I guess that can be sleep slop. I mean, I feel like I've definitely woken up. I've definitely woken up before and been like, wow, that was dream slop. That was just absolute dream slop. Like, you know how sometimes you have dreams that are, like, memorable and interesting, and other times you have dreams and you're like, this is dream slop. Absolute dream slop. Sleep slop. I don't know, maybe sleep slop would be like, all my lucid dreaming becomes dream slop. Dream slop are the dreams you end up not remembering. That's true, I guess. But then how do you know if it's slop if you don't remember it? I mean, I guess there's also dreams where it's like, it's not like you didn't remember it when you woke up, but then you just like didn't remember it for long enough. Like, because I feel like I've definitely had dreams where I was like, I woke up and I'm like, wow, that was a really interesting dream. I should tell somebody about this. And then I like go to like message somebody about it, and then I just like go to type and I'm like, I already forgotten what it was. AI generated dreams. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, what are some... The worst dreams are the ones where you go to work or school. I don't know. I feel like the ones where I go to school aren't that bad. But it's also because I'm like, I'm never doing school stuff in those dreams, you know? Like, I've never been like having a dream where I had to like do an exam. It's always like I'm going to school for some unrelated reason, or something else is happening and I just happen to be at school. Like, I'm trying to remember, like, do I have any, like, notable school dreams? Like, ever? Even, like, when I was in school? Like, I seem to remember, having a dream when I was in... This was, like, would have been, like, grade 9, because I remember that was, like, when I was moving cities. And I had a dream that, like, to go to my new school in my new city, I would have to, like, take a roller coaster to get to school. That was kind of a cool dream. That wasn't too dream slop. I like that one. It's usually because your brain sees nothing wrong and now you're late. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what's other dream slop I had? There was that one dream where, oh, I think I remember mentioning this on stream. It was a while back. It was a few months ago, I think. I remember I had a dream where, like, there was this, like, this dog that, like, just, like, came up and jumped all over me and then told me in a human voice that, like, something was going to happen, next Tuesday at 3 a.m. And then, like, I guess I woke up after that and I was like, what? And then I set an alarm for the next Tuesday at 3 a.m. just in case. Nothing happened, but I was like, okay. I don't know, maybe I prevented whatever was about to happen. Zelly does not want to go to sleep. You stayed up at 3 a.m., that's what happened. I don't think I even really it didn't even really ruin my sleep schedule. Like, I just woke up, I went outside, I, like, poked my head out, made sure, like, nothing odd was happening, and I went back to sleep. I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I feel like that's the only, like, notable dream I've had in recent memory. Dreaming the process of falling asleep happens to me sometimes. It can get unsettling sometimes. I don't think that's happened to me. I've definitely had dreams where I wake up. Like, I've had dreams where I'm, like, waking up and getting ready to go, and then I wake up and realize that I have not left my bed. And I'm like, ah, that's why it felt so easy. But I don't know. I need to, oh, that's another thing I need to remember to do now that I'm the only one in the house right now, is turning on the heat, adjusting the thermostat, because I feel like I also keep getting to a habit of, like, because I did this in Japan as well, where I'm like, why is it so cold inside this building all the time? And it's like, it turns out that you actually have to, like, turn on the heat if you want your house to be warm. I mean, I guess I'm saving money in some way, but I'm also just like, why am I cold all the time? Surely it just means I need to put on another sweater, right? Surely if I just take a warm shower and put on another sweater, surely that will solve everything, right? Why am I getting frostbite? It's not like frostbite cold, it's just like uncomfortable cold, right? Like, cold where, like, if you're not drinking hot tea all the time, you're like, I'm cold. Like, if I took off my sweater right now, I'm wearing a sweater. If I took it off right now, it would not be comfortable. It would not be especially comfortable. Okay. I think we're back. Allegedly. Allegedly. Give me a second. YouTube is... Oh god, am I even gonna be able to go back to YouTube? Oh no, YouTube is good. YouTube is fine. YouTube is fine. YouTube is fine. YouTube is fine. Let's go. Okay. YouTube is okay. Bitrate is abysmal. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know what happened. I was like, everything was normal, and then suddenly it was like, my music was still going, but everything was like frozen. Like I couldn't move my cursor, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't type in chat. Oh, I need to get Mahjong Soul going again. I don't know why my model just reset itself. Here we go. Nice, my face is still normal. Look at the music going again. That's not the music. This is the music. You guys hear anything? Oh goodness, there we go. Well, I hope Zelly got to go to bed. I hope Zelly got to go to sleep. Good night to Zelly. Hold on. Where is source for chat? It's that Brock. Everything Brock. It Brock. Zelly's right there. I thought you'd go to sleep. You come back and deal in real quick. Wait, is it gonna... Hold on. It's gonna kick me out of the game, isn't it? If I'm out of there for too long? Surely it will do that. Oh, we just concluded. Oh, did it just like, did it do the thing where it, like, just automatically discards for me? Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened. I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay. So just give me a second while it... I'm ready for Zhong. I'm also ready for Zhong, but unfortunately my computer is not quite ready yet. Here we go. There we go. Let's make a new room. If East only. 15292. 15292. And I will pin that again. I'm disappointed that I have to pin a second room code today. This is nonsense. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They can't do that. There we go. There we go. Remember to change screens when you're ready. Yes, I am ready. I am incredibly ready. Watch it just, like, not be showing up on the screen. Nah! Unbelievable. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready. Now we're good. We are alive. Eggy is alive. Oh, I need to be comfy and in glasses again. I forgot. Where are my glasses? How am I supposed to nurge without my glasses? There we go. Now I can be nurge. I can be full of knowledge. Oh, stream BGM too. Oh no! Why do I even have it available on the screen? Here we go. Eggy, did you see the DM a while ago? Yes. I've been, okay, as I was saying, like, this past week has been a lot. If anyone DM'd me and I just didn't reply, I am not ignoring you on purpose. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. There was a lot going on this past week. Yes, I did see your message. I've simply been going, we were supposed to DM you? No, but I had DM'd Azure about something. Peggy doesn't reply to your DM, she hates you. Yes, if I've never replied to your message, I did so with malicious intent. It's like, I am behind on multiple things. I'm going, At this point, when I don't know, sometime in like the past like 2 years, I feel my ability to reply to messages in a timely manner just like fell off a cliff. Like I used to be able to, like maybe it's just because I get more messages now than I did several years ago, but I feel like I used to always be able to, like, somebody would message me and I would respond within like 5 minutes, no matter what time it was. And then, like, at some point in the past few years, like, I tended to now keep doing the thing. You know when you, like, you get a message and you're like, I'll reply to this later, and then you don't? I feel like this keeps happening to me. Like, is it because I started procrastinating instead of just replying right away? But sometimes you just don't have something to say right away, right? Hello, Good and Nice Marie. Hello, Yusha. Hello. But yeah, sometimes you just don't have something to say, so you're like, I am, my ability, I tend to either reply right away or avoid you for a day. Yeah, I used to reply instantly. I used to be so good at this, and then my ability just like completely fell off a cliff. Like, I don't know if that's just like, is it becoming older thing? Is it because I now get more messages than I used to? Is it because, like, I have less time? Am I more stressed? Am I more forgetful? It's probably all of those things. But, like, yeah. Reply skills, I fell off. Cringe, I fell off. Don't worry, Eggy, we'll all decide you hate us instead. Wow! Wow! I am so merciful to other people. I say important things to Bodega, and she replies 3 days later. And it is fine. So I have to extend the same grace to myself, I guess. Chopped egg. No. Oh right, nobody says you fell. Nobody says you fell off. That's like 2 years ago slang. I'm old. I'm old. Today at work, I had to like be the designated consultant on behalf of the youth, and I'm like, I'm not even sure I qualify as the youth anymore. I had to like answer questions about social media, and I was like, because I was like, oh yeah, like younger people these days usually tend to use Instagram more than Facebook, and I'm like, am I even younger people? Do I even count now? Am I the youth? Because like the youth in question that we were referencing was like college students, and I'm like, okay, I was a student not so long ago. Like, I mean, I think students like the youth nowadays use Instagram more than Facebook. That's like a true statement, right? Because like I don't use the Instagram that much anymore. I keep forgetting other people do. It should be, unless you're in Southeast Asia. I know in other parts of the world, like the status of Facebook is different in different parts of the world. And it's like that with every platform, right? But no, I was like, in terms of for Canada, for Canadian youth, don't say the Instagram. I don't. I also don't say the Facebook. Should I start saying that? Should I start being like, oh, let me just check the Twitter? I need to check the Discord. Well, actually, no, that can sound correct. Although usually when you say the Discord, usually you're referring to like a specific server. Like if someone's like, hey, what time does this thing start? And you'll be like, I don't know, let me check the Discord. The YouTubes. Oh yeah, I saw this thing on the TikTok the other day. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I had to write up an explanation of what Discord is and how it works. Like, which I mean, to be fair, like the office I work at already uses Microsoft Teams. And Discord is kind of just that, but like less professional, I guess. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this is, it's... I had to like write up an explanation of how that works. I'm like, am I the youth? I guess I'm the youth. I am the youngest person in this department right now, I think. Niji Mari, hello! I'm the youth, I think. I'm young. I'm the youth. I mean, I guess you can be both young and out of touch, right? That's possible. There are definitely people who are young and out of touch. Being the youth doesn't guarantee that you know what's, like, hip with the youth, right? Meanwhile, there's people whose job, like, they're old, but, like, their job is to know what's hip with the youth, so... You could be Amish. I mean, not to that extent. I've acquired my new passport. Time to continue going nowhere. You can go to Canada now. Congratulations. Yes, you can go back home since you're already Canadian, apparently. Can't see full engagement in my game for some reason. Let me restart. Okay. Okay. But... yeah. I don't know. Eggy, when are you going to start speaking that horrid Toronto accent? Oh, the, wasn't the Toronto Japanese guys the, like, Konnichiwa Mina slimes? I don't even know, because, like, I did not grow up in Toronto, so, like, it's an accent that I'm, like, I've heard it, definitely. I know there are real people who talk like that. Can I say that I know anyone who does? I don't think I do. I don't think... Even being in Canada, I feel like it's not, like, hugely common. But maybe I'm just, like, not talking to the right group of people. Come to Quebec, not from Quebec. Ooh, everybody left. I am from Manitoba. Oh, he picked the one province. He picked the one province we can't prove. I mean, I know somebody lives, or at least somebody once lived, in Manitoba. Because once, when I was working last winter, we had one customer tell us that they used to live in Winnipeg. So I have witnessed one person from Manitoba. However, I cannot prove that the rest of Manitoba exists. Like, Manitoba is an entire province. Like, I've met people from BC. I've met people from Ontario. I've met people from Quebec. I've met people from Newfoundland. I've met people from Alberta. I guess I haven't met anyone from Saskatchewan. But I feel like I'm more likely to than I am to ever meet a person from Manitoba. Like, can anyone prove that, like, Manitoba is real and people live there? I think not. I never heard of the Japanese Toronto slang guy videos IRL, like people speaking like that. I mean, I know it has to be based on something, but... Anyone from Alert Canada? Honestly, like, okay, I don't know somebody... Okay, I don't technically know anyone from Nunavut, but, like, I know someone who went to Nunavut to work. Like, I think I have, like, a relative who did that for a while. So technically, I don't know somebody from Nunavut, but I know somebody who's like been to Nunavut for like a significant amount of time. I am from the... You're not from the Yukon, you didn't even spell it right. I think my game needs to update. I mean, you're showing up here, so something is working. There's no one in Saskatchewan telling me there's a town called Regina and you want me to believe it's a real place. There's also a town called Saskatoon. Saskatoon. Regina. Is anyone's computer working tonight? Like in general? It seems I've passed my technical difficulties onto all of you. I'm sorry. But yeah. Mine seems fine. You can't curse me. You're immune. I'm on my phone. Who says phones can't break, you know? Can't really talk smack. If I state there's a town called Pawpaw and Normal. Oh, I think there was like pictures of Normal that were going around on Twitter the other day because it was like their police cars literally just said like Normal Police. And like their school was like Normal Community High School. And like their library was like Normal Library. Like, hey guys, let's go to, where do you live? I live in Normal. I go to the Normal Library. I go to Normal School. If you commit normal crimes, you'll get caught by the Normal Police. If you get sick, you'll go to the Normal Hospital. Is that where Zia's from? I think I actually sent her the post. I think I sent her the post. Normal, Illinois. I don't know, is Illinois normal? Need a town called Abnormal Illinois where it's like exactly the same, but like everything is just like slightly different. Like the design is the same, but they name all the streets different stuff. There's a town called Norway. I rode my motorcycle through it once, and the only landmark was a crop plane crash. It was like Sandwich, Illinois. The cop cars are sandwich police. The sandwich police. You like, you say that like a hot dog, you eat a hot dog, you're like, wow, yummy sandwich, and then they show up. Yeah, the town of Normal. Normal, Illinois. Every time I see Illinois, I remember this one post that was like, someone was just like, I have mental Illinois. I keep thinking about that every time it was Illinois. The crumb is dry, book 'em boys. Stale bread. You're looking at 5 years. Looking at 5 years. Better have a good lawyer. I say that. I say mental Illinois. Yeah, I think I saw a post a while back, and that's just been in my brain ever since. Mental Illinois. Illinois. More like Illinoising. What do they got there? They got Bean. I don't actually know what else is in Chicago. I know there's Bean. I know there's they have an airport. I've been in the airport before because I had I think I had a layover there once. Presumably there are other things in Chicago other than the Bean and the airport. The Field Museum is cool? Field Museum. Lincoln Park is nice. I mean, I know that, like, historically, it's, like, an important city. I just don't actually know what is there. We have a Mitsuwa? Okay, I'm sold. Does it have a good selection of umeshu, though, is the question. Because the one Beba took me to, they had, like, look, okay, the selection of umeshu in Canada is kind of pathetic. We have, the expensive one, and we have the cheap one. Like, we have the Choya one that's in, like, the blue bottle, I think, that is, like, $40, and then we have, like, the Gekkekan one that is, like, $18, and those are the only two kinds we have. Sometimes, if you go to, like, a liquor store in, like, a specific area that I guess has more umeshu buyers, sometimes you can find a third kind, but it's usually just those two. But the one Beba took me to, they had, like, at least, like, 5 or 6 different kinds stocked. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know there was 5 or 6 different kinds. I mean, I knew because I saw them in Japan. I just kind of forgot that they existed. I still have like 2 more little like single serving jars in my fridge. I'll save them for a special occasion. The Field Museum is the first American museum to have the Pokemon Museum Tour. Yeah, but like, what does it do? What did it do before that? We have the Chicago River, which isn't very cool, but about 100 years ago, they figured out how to reverse the flow of the river, which is neat. They figured out how to do that. Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. Was it Chicago or... Where was the molasses flood in, like, the early... No, that was Boston. That was Boston. That was Boston, I think. I think Boston is another one where, like... I know that, like, historically it is extremely important and, like, a lot of important stuff there, but like, if you ask me, like, what is there to do in Boston, I would have to consult somebody else. Because I do not... I know there's, Harvard, but that's not really a thing to do. That's just, like, a thing that happens to be there. Something Boston Harbor. I know it has, like, a lot of, like, nice old-looking areas, I think. I know Harvard is there, and I think there's other schools there too, right? Like that, Boston is the smart people city, right? I know that the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody took place in Boston. I don't think any of the things that they, like, did in the show had anything to do with Boston, given that, like, 80% of it took place in the hotel, but... But it's like, I know that they have... I know they have important things. It's like Geology and History Museum, it's got Prehistoric North American Exhibit. Egypt Exhibit I've been through about 10,000 times. It's got Sue the T-Rex, which is the most complete T-Rex ever found. It's got rare gems. Okay, that's a museum. That sounds very museum. That is extremely museum. What is the museum from Night at the Museum? Was that the Where's the Smithsonian? Is that in DC or was that in New York? Or is that in, like, another third city that I completely forgot about? That's in DC, right? I think? That's the New York one. Ah, okay. Wait, so that wasn't... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the one I went to. The Metropolitan Museum? No, it was Smithsonian, I think, is the one from Night at the Museum. But I can't remember what city Smithsonian. I don't remember what city it's in. Is it DC? Because, like, I know DC has a lot of, like, history stuff because it's, like, the America city. I'm pretty sure it's in DC. Yeah, it was a Smithsonian. It isn't one museum, it's essentially a collection of museums run by the government. You have automotive museums, Black History Museum, aeronautical. Ah, okay. I guess... I don't know. That's something I'm like, in Canada, I'm like, it's not like we don't have museums. It's been a while since I've been to a museum in Canada. I think the last time I went to an art gallery with some friends. But, like, they were the friends who, it was fun because, like, they were the friends who got degrees in fine arts. So they could actually, like, explain why certain things were interesting and why they are in the museum. I think that's the last time I went to a museum in Canada, though. It's not like we don't have museums. It's just that, like, I guess... Like, there are museums in the city where I live. I just haven't gone to them in a while. Like, there is like, I've walked by an art gallery many times in, like, the past few weeks, but I have not gone inside. Yeah, the museum thing is better when you go with someone who likes them. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's also, too, just, like... Because, like, what is there in Canada? There's the ROM in Toronto, like the Royal Ontario Museum, which I don't think I've been to since I was in grade, like, 5 or 6, I think. I remember we went on a field trip there when I was in elementary school, but I don't think I've been back since. There are many art galleries. There was the Science Center, past tense. I know Montreal, I think, has more museums, too. I seem to remember, like, when I was a kid, we went to a museum in Montreal that had this, like, Disney exhibit going on. I don't remember which museum it was, though. Like, it might have been something Galerie des Beaux-Arts or something, but I forget. I was, like, 9 years old or something. Probably younger than that. They have a U-boat in one of the Chicago museums. The U-boat. The last time I went to the Chicago Art Museum, I went with an art major friend from college and rage baited her the whole time. Wow! Wow! You see, I went with my art major friends and I nice baited. I was very polite and listened to what they were explaining to me. How about gardens, like museum gardens? Oh, like botanical garden type things? I'm trying to think. Because I know in Montreal they have the Biodome, which is well, the Biodome is more like it's more like a zoo than a like garden. But like I guess it's like a zoo, but because it's indoors, they can kind of like have more like of the native flora as instead of just having just the animal in like an area. Hi EGGY. Hi Egg Lady. How's Mahjong Day going? It's going okay except for when my computer crashed, but we're back now, so it's okay. I think I went to the one in Montreal. I did not like butterflies. No, the butterflies one is in Niagara. I should go back to the butterflies one someday. I went to the butterflies one when I was like 12, and I liked it. I liked the butterflies one. I should go back sometime. I know when, my friend, I had a friend in elementary school who said that, like, when her family went to the butterflies, like the butterfly conservatory, like her and her mom and her brothers, they were all like looking ahead of time of like all these tips for like how to make butterflies land on you, where it's like wear bright colors, like eat sweet things before, like stuff like that. And then like they did not get any butterflies landing on them, but then like her dad, who like did not do any of those things. Like, he was wearing, like, a gray hoodie and ate a hot dog before going in, and somehow had butterflies landing all over him. Maybe they thought he was a rock. I went to a monarch butterfly preserve and I got absolutely mauled. Do monarch butterflies don't bite, do they? I don't think they do. But yeah, no, the butterflies, I like the butterfly one. I know we do have some kind of botanical garden somewhere within a not horrific distance away from me. I don't think it's open year-round, though. Because that's the thing, I feel like we can't really have stuff like that open year-round just because it's like, it's cold. I imagine maybe there's ways to do it. I mean, I guess Montreal figured it out for the biodome, but like, it's cold. Yeah, botanical gardens are nice. We got a couple in my area that all have different themes. Yeah, I don't think we have that many, but also, again, maybe it's a year, like a year-round thing. No, I'm being dramatic, but I had a whole colony on me and I had to stand for like an hour because I didn't want to move and accidentally crush one. Imagine just like falling asleep there and just like waking up and you're just covered in monarch butterflies. Butterfly. Wow. But I guess I went to a zoo like 2 years ago. I guess that counts, right? Really? We just started. We just started. Really? Really? Isn't the point of a botanical garden that it doesn't have to close for the cold? I mean, yeah, but I think there's probably like a certain level of like the walls can only be so thick before like. But then again, like the biodome figures it out, but also like the biodome exists because it was so the biodome in Montreal. So you know how like. I think it was in like the 60s, the Olympics were in Montreal. So the biodome is essentially the old cycling stadium, and they repurposed it to turn it into an indoor zoo, I guess. So, but that's a very specific building, built for a very specific reason that they repurposed for something specific, right? Like, I feel like that's like the exception to the rule. Yeah, the monarch one I went to was in Southern California. I'll have to check. I mean, I feel like the Niagara butterfly one is probably open year-round, though. Oh, I guess I've been to an aquarium at some point in the past few years, too. The Fish Museum. I mean, anything could be a museum if you go and look at stuff. I also went to a loofah farm because loofahs are grown in organic. I didn't know that. Yeah, they're like a kind of sea sponge, right? Sea spung. Sea spung. I'm cold. Everyone's gonna be like, wow, Eggy, you need to turn on the heat in your house. And I'll be like, you're definitely right. But then I have to get up and go upstairs to do that, and I'm not gonna do that. I refuse. Blech. Jongen, give me a second. Actually, loofah is actually a vegetable. Oh, interesting. Sponges are the underwater ones. Well, because like sea sponges are like an actual thing, right? Like that's not like a thing SpongeBob made up, right? Just wear more blankets, get an electric blanket. Yeah, but then when you have to like get up and do something that you can't do with an electric blanket on, you know? Like, the only way to solve this is to go upstairs and turn up the thermostat. Just one more blanket, bro. Just one more blanket. See, this is my problem too, is that like, at night, I will be cold and I'll be like, okay, let's put on 1 billion blanket. And then in the morning, I'm like, I refuse to get out of bed because then I'm gonna have to take off my 1 billion blankets. And then I'm gonna be cold. And then I'm gonna go, ooh, I'm cold. And it's gonna take me so much time. I'm gonna spend so much time in the morning going, ooh. That's gonna make me miss my bus. Yeah, Sponge is a legit underwater animal. The cleaning thing is named after the animal. Okay. Okay, so SpongeBob is... SpongeBob... The lesson is that SpongeBob is real. Okay. Can't count the amount of times I've missed my bus for that. Well, I don't know. Every time I miss my bus, I feel like I keep going... I get really in my own head about missing the bus. Because I'll be like, okay, you know, if I would have just gotten out of bed like 2 minutes earlier, and if I would have just like washed my face a little bit faster, if I would have like eaten breakfast, just like, if I would have chewed a bit faster at breakfast, I would have made that bus, you know? Oh, you know what happened to me the other day? I'm really mad about this. So, I was getting on a train, right? Like I got off my bus, I transferred, I was like heading to the train platform. I noticed that the train was there, but I was like, nah, it's probably not a good idea to run for it. It's probably fine. And then I'm like, I'll just get on the next one. And then the next one didn't come for 40 minutes because they were experiencing technical difficulties. I'm like, man, I was late for work. I could have been on time if I would have just ran for that train, because it turns out that that was like the last functional train of the hour. Like, man. How could they do this to me? Blech. See, just be unemployed. Then you never have to worry about missing the bus, train, and traffic. You can never be late if you don't have anywhere to be. Very true. Unfortunately, time continues passing, even when I'm not doing anything, so... That's something I have to worry about. I have to get my life together. I have to do everything different. Having the Eggy next to me is making me extremely nervous. I mean, if I wasn't here, I'd be somewhere else on the table. It reminds me of the one time when there was a bus I could have taken to get home, but it was running distance, so I waited for the one that comes in like 3 minutes later. It never came. I had to either wait half an hour or go to a different station. No, I think... So the bus system here, like, people like to complain about it, but it's better than where I was living before, right? But I think that, like, when you live in a place with really, really bad bus service, you develop really bad habits about, like you will like risk your life. You become the kind of person who's going to like risk your life to not miss the bus. Like, I've developed really bad habits of just like running across great distances at unsafe speeds and like throwing myself downstairs to not miss a bus, even though there will be one that will be coming like 3 minutes later, and it actually will come later. Ragdoll, like, well, like, okay, the like buses in previous Eggy City, I like they had this habit of like not stopping at the stop where you're very clearly waiting. So yeah, you kind of get into the habit of basically like halfway throwing yourself in front of the bus because you can't be sure if they're gonna stop for you if you don't do that. Or like, you know, there'll be a lot of times where you'll be like very clearly running, like you'll be visibly running for the bus, and if you're not at the stop, like at the exact moment, the bus is just like, well, clearly this person is just jogging, right? Clearly this person screaming, wait, 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 is clearly just jogging. And we don't need to stop for them, it's fine. Man, Eggy, we have wildly different standards for bad bus systems. In every city I've lived in, missing the bus meant waiting an hour for the... No! Previous Eggy City was like that. Not for all buses, but for some, definitely. Current Eggy City, I was saying people like to complain about it, but it's like miles better. Like, it's like, okay, your bus is late, at least it showed up. Because, yeah, no, previous Eggy City was more of, like, the once-an-hour buses. Oh, God. Okay, previous Eggy City would also have this issue where, because I think the bus system worked on what they call, like, I think it's called, like, interlining or something. There's a specific term for it, but it's basically, like, a bus, when it hits a station, it will, like, turn into a different bus, right? So you might have, like, Route A, and then when it gets to a specific station, then it's like, okay, this will now become Route B, and then it runs Route B. But the problem is that, like, if there's, like, a holdup, you know? Like, if it takes too long to finish Route A, and then if it takes too long, they just cancel Route B. So what will happen is that, like, you will be, like, standing at the stop, and you'll be like, okay, my bus comes in, like, 10 minutes. And then you'll, like, you know, put your phone away for a bit, and then you'll pull out your phone to check again, and you're like, my bus comes in 5 minutes. And then you're like, you put your phone away, and then you pull it out again, and you're like, my bus is coming in 45 minutes. Like, you get a lot of situations like that where, like, they just don't show up. They just don't show up. And you don't find out until it's, like, you know, a few minutes before it's supposed to be here. It was not a good system. I did not enjoy my time living there. I live every day with the knowledge that there is always a non-zero chance that I'm someday gonna have to live there again. Ooh. You know what? Maybe you should be afraid of me. Spending a year in Korea has cursed me with knowing what a good, well-ran bus and train system is like. Yeah. That was what it was like. Okay, everybody, check one off for Eggy mentions having been in Japan before. But, like, yeah. It's like, once you understand what is possible, then it just makes you more mad that it's, like, not possible here for whatever reason. Bingo! Oh boy. We already got the passage of time. We got the passage of time, I think, earlier on when I was complaining about being old, so... But, yeah, no, what I missed about Japanese transit, at least where I was living, is that, like, you don't have to... How do I say this? Like, buses were, like, almost a convenience rather than a need. Like, if you were trying to travel any kind of significant distance, you do that by train. Buses were kind of more for, like, shorter distances. Because, like, saying, oh, I missed my bus, guess I'll have to walk, was, like, a normal thing in Japan. Like, that's a very normal, insane thing to say. But, like, saying that here is like, what? No. What? Like, unless it was a very short bus ride, like, you know, like 5 minutes, then maybe that could become like a 20-minute walk. That's like, that's doable. But like, for a lot of times, especially previous Eggy City, like if you missed your bus, it's like, yeah, you could walk 4 hours, I guess, but... Yeah. And it was the same thing too with like, because like usually when I would take the bus when I was in Japan, it was usually for not because it was a far distance. There were some buses that went further distances, but usually they were for a specific destination. Like I think I took one once that went specifically to like an onsen. But no, usually the other buses were usually like, you know, this thing is on a really steep hill and I don't want to climb up the hill, so I'm taking the bus. or you know, the bus is faster, or like it's raining today and I don't want to be walking around in the rain kind of thing, right? Like it was never like a need, it was just like a convenience, you know? Yeah, we're actively choosing the worst option. Yeah, and it's like, I don't even think, because like, we have all the parking in the world and people still complain about the lack of parking. And I'm like... ugh. 1 billion Eggy points. I'm still not in first place, it's fine. People talk about current infrastructure like it's a naturally occurring phenomena and wasn't built and maintained by people. Yeah! Exactly. You know what? I didn't realize how much of Canada is just parking lots until I went to Japan, and then I came back and I was like, oh my god, the entire city is just parking lots. There is nothing here. There is like 1% store and everything else is parking lot. Like, it's so much parking lot. Why would we do this on purpose? At least put the parking lot behind the building. Why are we putting them all in front of the building? Why spend our Asia has strong social contract and cohesion that doesn't care about the suffering of the individual as long as the whole appears to be intact. I mean, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, there's also like a lot more like physical things, right? Like, a lot of countries are dense because that's the only way that you can fit that many people there. But yeah, it doesn't hurt that most of Japan was destroyed recently, so infrastructure is mostly new. Yeah, and like Japan also, like, not even talking like global conflicts, but also like Japan is also constantly having to rebuild things all the time just because of earthquakes as well. So I guess they kind of get a lot of chances to start over. Actually, now that I think of it, I don't think I didn't actually experience any earthquakes when I was there. That's like the one Japan experience that I did not have. But also apparently where I was living was just a place that like did not get earthquakes super often. And like, I don't know, my room was on like the 5th floor of a building, so like, I feel like if the ground was shaking I would have noticed, but just it didn't happen. You say that like it's a bad thing? Well, I don't know, I feel like there's like some important thing that I missed out on. Like, is it I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing to experience, but like, I mean, maybe don't experience like a huge like earth-shattering, life-changing earthquake, but like, even like minor ones are still pretty common there. Yay! But like, yeah, I feel like that's like a core experience that I just like did not get just due to where I was living. Yay! Yay! Eggy win. Eggy win. Oh goodness, it's 10:45. We can do one more. We can do one more if you guys all promise to get in here really quickly. You gotta promise to get in here really fast. I can fill? Yeah, if you guys can get in here really fast, we'll do one more. We'll do just one more. Cause yeah, I need to not go to bed so late tonight. I need to get Mahjong Soul on Steam. Hurry up! Everybody play as fast as you can. I still need to take a shower. At least I don't need to wash my hair. I need to take a shower and I need to prepare lunch for tomorrow. You know, I totally forgot at work that they have a toaster oven. Today I brought like cheese and bread and I was eating my cold cheese and my cold bread. And I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure I could have just put this in the toaster oven and like melted the cheese onto the bread. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll do that tomorrow. I live in the middle of nowhere America's private land, so it has to work within that. I mean, yeah, but like it's still possible to build things close to each other, even within that. Gotta make my haunts go fast. Horms. Horms. Azur, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up. I'm pulling out my phone. I'm pulling out my phone. I'm scrolling. I don't know the answer, I just work here. I just live here, I don't know everything. Freight trains are very different from passenger trains, and many older US cities have okay train systems. I mean, there's like Amtrak. It is a didn't Amtrak like install like a really fast train recently? Cause like I remember when I was with Beba, at one point like we were in a train station and we saw like this fancy like almost Shinkansen looking train just zooming through, and Bodega was like, "Oh, it's that one! It's that one!" I was told it was like one of the new fancy Amtrak ones that go Newman Zoom. All right. Let's go. My sister recently had to take an Amtrak and it was late to its destination by several hours. I mean, sometimes things happen. I've been on a train once that got stuck for like 5 hours. It wasn't their fault though. It wasn't their fault. Basically, like, I was on a train and everything was going normal, and then we were crossing through like, I guess, a city, and the train got stopped because apparently there was like, they just said there was a mysterious, not mysterious, that sounds too cool. Suspicious package, that was the word they used. A suspicious package on the tracks, and they would not let the train cross until they had like the police had fully investigated it. But the thing is that like, the police were kind of not telling the train staff anything. Like, we got more information about what was going on by just like looking up what was going on in the news in the area, rather than like asking the train staff, because like they didn't know anything. People will be like, "Hey, when can we expect to get going again?" And the train staff legitimately did not know. I felt really bad. We got free pizza because like we were stuck there long enough that they had to like give food, otherwise people would start getting mad. So yeah, we got free pizza. Eggy, drink water? Yeah, I will. Hold on. Blech. The one time I took an Amtrak was for a trip within the New England area. It was slower than a plane, but I thought it was pretty nice and comfy. Yeah. I think the thing with trains, though, is that, like, I feel like, even though price-wise, I feel like they're kind of starting to get the same... Oh, I'm not very smart. Oh no, why did I do that? I'm not very smart. They're starting to get as expensive as planes sometimes, I feel. But also, you don't have to show up super far ahead of time is the nice thing. Because like airports, you gotta show up like, you know, like at least like 30 minutes before your flight to board. And then on top of that, you also got to show up like even earlier to get through security. Whereas trains, you can just like show up at the platform like, you know, 3 minutes before your train comes, and you can still board your train on time. Hi, Eggy. Hello, Wonder Waffle. Hello. Yeah, not anywhere near as fancy as the South Korean train experience. Again, I haven't ridden Korean trains. I took the Shinkansen when I was in Japan. The acceleration on the Shinkansen is like so smooth, like, because my ride started, like, we were in a tunnel, right? And I did not even realize that the train had been moving for like 5 minutes at that point until it went outside. Like, that's how smooth the acceleration was. I didn't even realize we were moving. Because, yeah. So there are definitely trips where it's like, in theory, this is faster with a plane, but in practice, when you have to take into account, like, security and luggage check and everything, it's like, it comes out to be about the same amount of time, really. Sometimes even the train is faster. It's not worth it at this point. Yeah, and all the rush for a plane trip ends with you getting stuffed in the tiniest, stiffest seat possible. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't mind flying. Some people are, my hot take is I actually like airports, but I think it's also because every time I've been to an airport in my entire life, it's always been for something fun. Like, I'm sure if I was somebody who had to, like, travel a lot for work, or if I was somebody who had, like, to travel a lot to see, like, family or something, I'm sure maybe I would think differently. But I think that, like, I like airports because every time I'm flying, it's like, ooh, I'm going on a fun trip. I'm going on a vacation. I'm going to a convention. I'm going to go see my friends. No! So yeah, going to an airport is always like either the beginning or the end of something exciting. Nah! Ah. Gang up on Eggy. It's fine, put me in the negatives, the game will end. I've flown enough to decide I hate planes, the whole experience of using planes to get from A to B. Yeah, I guess maybe I just haven't flown enough. Cause yeah, when have I flown? Like, I'm trying to think of every time I've flown in my life. I went to Colorado when I was a kid with my family. I think it was like a 3-hour flight. It wasn't like a terribly long flight. It was my first time being in a different time zone though. Then we went to Florida when I was older, and then I think we went to Florida again, like several years later. And then after that, because when did I? Oh wait, no, I think it was another trip to Colorado. Yeah, we had another trip to Colorado in like 2016, and I think from 2016 until I went to Japan in 2022, I did not get on an airplane. To be fair, you couldn't really get on airplanes for a solid chunk of that time. But yeah, then I went to Japan, and then I came back, and then I went to Vancouver, and then I came back, and then I went to Vancouver again, and then I came back, and then I went to DC and back a few times for MagFest. I went to New York this year. Yeah. My grandpa used to fly a lot when he worked to Southeast Asia a lot, and he used to enjoy it, but he also got to fly in a time where it was cool and you could smoke cigars and harass the flight attendant ladies and no one cared. I don't know. To be fair, the other thing too is that, like, I feel like, long overnight flights are, I don't like them because I'm really bad at sleeping on planes. But I feel like during the day, it's like, okay, cool. I just get like, because I feel the same with like long train rides. It's like, even plane rides I think are better for this because there's not really anything to see out the window. Because it's like cool, you get an excuse to play video games for like 6 hours if you so desire. Like, no one's gonna stop you. No one's gonna stop you to, like, what are they gonna say? Stop playing video games? Like, what else am I supposed to do? There's nothing else to do. Like, at least, like, on trains, there's stuff you can see out the window. So sometimes it's like, I don't want to be playing video games because there might be, like, a nice view that I might miss. But, like, planes, it's like, no, it's you take off and then there's nothing but clouds until you land. It's like, again, I love being able to have an excuse to do nonsense for several hours at a time. Nonsense for several hours. Last flight I took was Colorado. I drowned on that trip. I'm assuming unrelated to the flight. If it's a clear day, you can see some nice sights. Yeah, that's true. When my flight to Japan, when I was going from like Eggy City to Vancouver, it was like a super clear day. And when you're flying over the prairies, you could like, it looked like a blanket. The prairies from up in the sky, they look like a blanket of just seeing like all the fields, and it's like, it looks patchwork. It's really nice. Maybe I did fly over Manitoba. I guess technically I did see Manitoba, didn't I? I guess Manitoba does exist. Yeah, it's like a quilt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the way a train gently rocks while it's moving. Plane noise is too loud for me to sleep through as well. Yeah, I don't think... okay, I think I slept on my flight to Japan, but I didn't notice until I woke up, and... I don't know, I think I was very rude to the person next to me, I think. Not on purpose. But I think it was more just like... I think I fell asleep without knowing, and then when I woke up, I like found myself like sitting on a tuna sandwich by accident because apparently they had passed around snacks while I was asleep, and they just like, I guess I was asleep, so they just like put one on me and like just didn't think to tell me. And like, I don't know, I felt like I was like, in trying to become comfortable, I was probably making the person next to me somewhat uncomfortable. In my defense, it was my first time flying for more than like 4 hours at a time. I will endeavor to improve. I get really bad sinus pressure on planes. I also got a migraine on the last flight. No! Very bad place to have a migraine, but at the very least you're seated the entire time. Yeah, tuna and egg sandwich. Well, okay, to be fair also too, like, I wasn't really hungry for it anyway because I was like, I made the mistake of eating before I got on that flight. Because I knew that there would be a meal, I didn't know when it was going to be served. So I was like, okay, I will eat before I get on the plane. And then I got on the plane, and then as soon as we were like, hit the necessary altitude, they were like, okay, it's dinner time. And I'm like, oops. And so I had dinner, and then after that I was like, oh, that was too much. I should have not eaten before. But yeah, no, I think if I go to EGGY this year, that's gonna be like a 7-hour flight, I think. Like from Eggy City to California is like, it's a long flight. Because like Eggy City, I think when I went to Florida, that was only like, that wasn't very long. I think it was only like 3-4 hours. But I guess if I'm flying to the West Coast, then it's like, there's way more ground to cover. It's not a good habit, but I'm glad that fun drugs are legal in my state, so I have enough to sleep through all my flights. No! I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten, like, airsick. Oh, I'm sorry. I think my music needs to be started again. There we go. Yeah, I've never been west of the Rockies. Well, even, like, Vancouver. Like, Eggy City to Vancouver, I think, is, like, 5 hours. A little less than 5 hours. But again, that's, like, there is literally less distance because you're not going as far south. But yeah, LA to Montreal is like 12 hours or something. Yeah, I don't think it's that much. Well, I guess Montreal's a little further east? But yeah, I think I was looking it up and it was like, yeah, it was like 7-8 hour flights for California. So, I don't know. Maybe I will go ooh, 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 but... But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten more motion sickness from cars than I have from planes. Like, I don't know if it's like a feature of some cars. I've heard some people say that like Teslas give them motion sickness, and like that kind of checks out for me. I know when I was in New York with Beba, at one point we got into an Uber, and it was like I don't know if it was a Tesla, but it was a kind of like fancy car that had like the roof was just like a skylight. And at first I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then like after riding in the car for a few minutes, I quickly realized why we don't usually do things this way. I mean, it was kind of cool to be able to like look up and see the sky from inside the car, but it was also very quickly like, oh yeah, I should not be able to see this amount of movement while I'm in the moving vehicle. No. Yeah, I by the grace of God didn't vomit on flight, but the second we landed, I ran to the bathroom, and projectile vomited for like 10 minutes. Someone was in a stall next to me and very loud. I was like, God damn, and that made me chortle a bit. Chortle. In that situation. Chortling. Yeah, again, I've never had an issue with it on planes. Just, wow. Just, I don't know, some cars, some drivers should not accelerate and brake with such force, I think. Like, he hates me. Unbelievable. If I beat you at Mahjong, you should take that personally. You should. Never in planes is kind of weird. I only get motion sick on boats. I've never got, I mean, to be fair, I also haven't been on a ton of boats. So like, maybe there will be a boat that that will like do me in someday, but like, I don't think, yeah, I've gotten motion sick in cars more than often than I've gotten motion sick on planes or boats or any other vehicle, really. Maybe once or twice I've gotten motion sick on a train, but no, usually for whatever reason it's a car thing, but it really depends. I feel like I get more motion sick. I feel like the thing that ends up like triggering that feeling is like a lot of starting and stopping, because like I don't have any issue with like being on the highway for long periods of time. Like if I'm just riding in a car and the car is just in constant motion, it's probably fine. I feel like it's when I'm in like the city or when I'm in traffic. Oh god, the bus that I used to take to go to work, I used to get really bad motion sickness from that, especially if it was because the kind of bus that I could ride, some of them were double-deckers and some of them were single-deckers. And the single ones were fine, but like the double-decker, for whatever reason, if I was on the second floor, and it was still pretty bad on the first floor, but like the second floor was like especially bad. It was like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just because we were in traffic, so we kept like starting and stopping. And I guess it was just like lurching me back and forth, and that's where it was coming from. But yeah, it was a bad time. I did not enjoy when that happened. Are you ready to take something personally? That's right, take that personally. Take my Tanya personally. Okay, I should at least... I'm so winning. I shouldn't be winning this much. Take this extremely personally. The curse of going to bed and winning at John. Why are you not sleeping? I mean, I know I can say the same thing of myself. But I can say the same thing even more of you. Why are you not sleeping? You said you were going to sleep like an hour ago. Either way, I don't think I'm gonna get it this time, so you're probably safe. You got into a Discord convo. Haven't we all? Ugh. Oh. Hold on, I'm having old person knees moment. I need to stretch my legs and I have nowhere to stretch them. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe if I like tilt my body like this and cross my legs. Like so. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand up after stream and I'm gonna go, ooh. I may be young and youthful, but my knees will go, ooh, ooh, ooh. Thanks for reminding me you're old now. I do make fun of my younger brother for being a literal unk now. Thanks for reminding me that you're old. I forgot. You're welcome. I'll try to be old more often. I don't know. What are some... Oh, yeah, I want to bring back knitting streams. I was thinking about this the other day because I was trying to figure out like how I could go about it. Because I was talking to some... I remember a long time ago I was talking to someone and they were like, oh yeah, for hand cam streams I use... So there's a thing that you can get that's called like a documents camera. It's technically supposed to be for photographing like documents, but it's basically just like a camera on an arm that's like overhead. But I know some people like during COVID, a lot of teachers would use it to like show like a textbook over Zoom and whatnot. So I'm thinking maybe of getting one. Maybe I'll put it on Throne. Because if I can get one of those, because the problem right now is I only have one webcam and I already need that for face tracking. This is a non-existent hand. What am I doing? You can just buy an arm, right? Yeah, but I still need a second camera. And like with the price of like getting a second camera and the arm, it just like, it would cost about the same. Yeah, you want your VTuber. Yeah, that's the thing, is that like, I used to be able to do hand cam streams because my old phone I was able to use for tracking. For whatever reason, my new phone just like does not work with VTube Studio, so I cannot do that. And also because if I'm far away from my computer, because the setup I would have me far away from the computer, so I would need to be able to like see chat, which I would likely be doing with my phone. So, because yeah, I've been considering, because I have like a little like IKEA side table, so it's like a very low table. But I was like, okay, if I sit on the floor, if I just put like a cushion on the floor, and then like I put like a tablecloth or something over that table, and then I like clip my mic to one side, and then I clip the camera to the other side, and then I figure out another thing, a place to put the front camera for face tracking. Like this could be figured out. It could be arranged. I just need a second camera. 6-7, but in French. C7. Today I was leaving work and I was in the elevator, and like the elevators in the building I'm in, they're like numbered. I guess so in the case of like if there's like an accident or something, they can like ask you which one you're in. And you'll never guess what elevator I was in today. You'll never guess what elevator I was in. It was the only elevator. It was elevator 6-7. I'm so glad that my elevator did not get stuck today and I didn't have to call for help and tell everybody that I was in elevator 6-7. There's more than 67 of them? No, there's only like, there's not that many elevators. I think there might be like 10 at the most. At least for that part of the building. I assure you this building does not have 67 elevators. I don't know why they number them that way. Rokunana, Rokunana, C-set, C-set, C-set. Vampire to 6-7. 6-7. TTS died. It was never alive. My computer crashed. Even I don't think I remember to turn it on before, but even if I did, my computer broke, and I had to restart stream. It broke. It broke. A very prescient contractor was like, yeah, this will be so funny 10 years from now. Can you imagine, like, being able to see the future, but, like, the only thing you're allowed to use it for is to, like, set up memes ahead of time? Like, it's like, oh, yeah, 6-7, that's gonna be huge in the future, and you're, like, trying to build the 6-7 into as many places as possible. That sounds like a curse. Actually, no, I'm sure there's gotta be, like, someone's gonna write that story. Like, okay, imagine if you could see the future, but, like, only, like, social media from the future, right? Like, imagine being able to see the future, but only being able to access the future through, like, Twitter. Like, you can see what, like, you can see what people are tweeting, like, 30 years from now, but, like, you don't have the context of real life, so it's just, like, memes and slop. Tell him Sleppy. This is IVE song where they count to 11, but they stop after 6-7 and jump straight to 11. Wait, no, never mind. I was like, I have a funny story. I can't tell it because I think it will provide too much personal information. Unfortunately, it is related to 6-7. Yeah! Thank you, Jake, for your noble sacrifice. Thank you for your noble sacrifice. Thank you for your sacrifice so that I can both win and go to Slep. Six, 7 doxing. No, it would. Well, I guess I don't live there anymore, so it doesn't really count. Hold on, I'm considering. You know what? It's not worth it. It's not that funny of a story. It's fine. I'm not gonna dox myself for 6-7 story that's not even that much of a story. What have I done to you all to warrant this kind of abuse? You have to take this personally. Your parents live there? Unless they moved, they moved. This is like previous Eggy City, like where I grew up as a kid. I have not been there. I have not been back there since like 2016, I think. I think I went there the summer... I went there one summer when I was a teenager with my parents. And I think that's the last time I went. And I don't really have a reason to go back because there wasn't like that much to do there. And also, like, I don't drive, so it's... and the transit there is even worse. And also, all my friends that live there, I'm not really in contact with any of them, and also I think they all moved away. I think they're actually probably, out of like my like elementary school class, more people probably live in current Eggy City than still live in previous Eggy City. Because I think it's one of those, it's like a medium-sized city, but it's like one of those places that like everybody, like anybody who like goes to university in a different city just like doesn't really come back. So I'm sure that like out of the people at my school that I knew when I was a kid, even if I was in contact with them, I'm sure somebody still lives there, but probably not that many people. But Hello, Mina Nusalam. Unfortunately, I'm about to end stream. As it is the evening. It is the evening. And it is, sleepy time. I need to not go to bed super late tonight, so I need to be sleeping something resembling on time. So let's see who we can raid. I come back and you're once again revealing personal info. I'm telling you all where I don't live. Again, you can cross that one off your list. You can cross that one off your list of places I don't live. You'll narrow it down eventually. Like, reverse doxing. You know, I do not live in Europe. I do not live in Asia. I do not live in Africa. I do not live in the Southern Hemisphere. Cussing previous Eggy City off the thanks for the info. If I knew Canada, it'd be super obvious. I mean, I feel like at least a handful of people already know. I think if you also live here, it is extremely obvious. In fact, I've probably given out like various clues completely by accident at various points, but they might be clues that are not particularly obvious if you don't live here or near here. I saw Eggy my dream yesterday, so clearly you're in Asia. Yeah, sorry, I had to like fly there in the middle of the night and then come all the way back here to be on time for work. You keep spilling more and more info about where you live. Well, that's the problem, is when you go outside, then like you talk about the things that are outside, and like you unfortunately do live in a location. Everyone has to live in a location. We haven't really figured out how to not do that yet. So, like, you gotta... I'm sorry for going outside. Can't believe Eggy just narrowed down where she lives down to less than 10% of the Earth. True. You can use other topics to talk about. I'm sorry, I go outside with the intention of finding new things to talk about. Because that's where most of them are. I'm not gonna sit here and only talk about fiction for the entire time streaming. Who can we raid? I guess we can raid Zia Xenos. We can raid Zia. She's chillin'. She's meow meow. And I need to go to sleep. If you look for things to talk about without going outside, you'll be terminally online. Exactly! And that's what that's what I'm trying to be less online. I'm trying to be less online. I'm trying to touch grass. Unfortunately, the grass is outside, and unfortunately, you can find grass on Google Maps, and I have to be more careful about that. Let's see. Let's set this up. Raid. Zia_Xenos. Just LARP living in Japan. I mean, I do take a train to work. I do take Japanese classes. That's basically like being in Japan, right? Alright, Eggy Sweep Raid. Is that the raid? That's a pretty good raid message. Everybody do what Punk Asian just did. And also what I'm about to do. There we go. So I will be back on Wednesday, provided that more disasters don't happen. I will be back on Wednesday. Fear not. This week will be normal. This week will be so normal. This will be the most normal week that you have ever experienced in Eggy history. I think my weeks are getting too normal. As soon as this job is over, I need to start doing more abnormal things. I feel like I'm like, why do I feel so bored sometimes with streaming? And it's like, have you tried streaming something other than the same two things over and over? So, maybe next week I'll switch it up, but this week, normal. Ogarina, Normal. So until then, let's go see Miss Normal and look at my normal end card. Au revoir. I'll see you Wednesday.